The sharp rocks at the bottom. It's like, bring it on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let me hydrate for you, Dodo. Welcome, Melody. Good to see you.
Why did I have to get one of them just slightly uneven? It's gonna piss me off till I fix it.
Murder is good. I'll bury him underneath the corpse of the dead animal. Okay. Sounds good, Melody. Hey, what's up, Synthetic? Zinny Boy. Dodo, welcome.
Hello, Dodo.
Last chapter, we left off with, Teppei Hojo got murdered. Real good.
Real good.
He got beaten to death with a metal bat by Keiichi. And he got buried in some mud. And then he dumped his motorcycle and his bat in the swamp. And then he came back to. He was going back home, and then he was discovered by the nurse lady. Takano, I think is her name. Takano-san?
Yeah, it's Takano-san.
Yeah. She stopped by the side of the road and picked him up and gave him a ride home, and then she more or less knows that he killed Hojo. Teppei Hojo. And it's also strongly implied that she killed Tomitake-san because she had Tomitake's bike in her car. So it ended with those two having a big standoff and like, better not tell anybody you saw me. And then they secretly want to kill each other now. So it just ends with Keiichi going home after beating that guy to death. He's all tired.
20 minutes into stream. I can finally watch the stream.
Oh.
Oops.
Uh-oh. Well, welcome, Dodo. Good to have you here. But yeah,
it's not 25 minutes in, is it?
No, it's 13.
I was gonna say.
We had to get ready a little bit longer than usual to get them.
Yeah, I was a little late.
Yeah, everybody blame Index.
Man, I was a little late. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. Don't blame Index.
That's fine.
Oh, Pingu, thank you for the follow, buddy. I'm gonna be interviewing him on Sunday.
Nice.
He's a little penguin.
He's a little penguin?
Yeah, he's my son.
Is he gonna be your? Oh, is he your son?
He's a little penguin conqueror guy.
I definitely want to meet your son.
Pingu Mumbo. He's me and Platinum Lily's son.
I'm very excited.
Index is never late nor early. She arrives precisely when she means to.
Thank you for using a Lord of the Rings reference.
Nerd.
Zen gets me.
Nerd.
Zen gets me!
Nerd!
So, but literally, if I wasn't a Gundam, I'd probably be an elf.
Yeah, I think you'd be an elf.
Yeah. Or a magical
27
girl.
minutes. Oh, that's, I start, the stream a little early. So people can jump in.
Yeah.
Oh, the dam of the third day. Look to the index. Alright.
Dice.
We didn't finish the tips, so we're gonna do that real quick. Oh, wait, no. Only new tips. Not all of them. Fire from Hell and the Victim of the Fifth Year. Wonder what these are about.
Hello? Do you need the hospital or the fire department?
The fire department.
Is there a fire or some other accident? Please speak slowly and calmly.
I think it's a fire. This is the redacted rest area on the redacted highway. I can see a ton of fire and smoke coming up from the mountains behind us. Nobody goes back there, so I don't know why anything got lit on fire. Anyway, I figured I should let you know. It could turn into a forest fire.
I understand. I need to know exactly where you are, so please tell me your name, phone number. We can use it to get in touch with you and the exact location of the fire.
Wonder if it's Tomitake-san. Notice from the fire department headquarters. We have report of a suspicious fire on the western slopes of the redacted mountain. Given its distance from the road, it could be a couple's bonfire or someone unlawfully burning trash or corpses. The location is deep in the woods. No homes in the area, but the fire could spread. Immediately go to the site to verify. Is this the fire station? This is the redacted district fire department branch. We arrived moments ago at the reported area. Fire confirmed to be a burning oil drum left in the mountains. The fire is calming and there is no chance it will spread. Oh shit. And, well, in the oil drum, I think it might be a person. Like, a person burned with kerosene or something. Well, I think maybe we should go to the police over here.
Ah,
Go ahead.
there's no mistaking it. This is a person.
Eek!
Eek. I don't know. Eek sounds like.
They're like, call Smokey the Bear! He's gotta put a stop to this.
Smokey the Detective Bear.
Does he just curse then? That's what it would look like. He kills them differently every year, but this is particularly conspicuous, isn't it? Flying out your own throat. That isn't normal. Let's leave the rest to the old man in forensics. Oh, I'm sure he'll find some suspicious. Thank you. Thank you for your hard work. Oh, Oishi-san, Komiyami-san, and the others have arrived. Oishi-san, much appreciated. Well, it would seem we have a pretty crazy one this year. Yes, we've been outsmarted. I was absolutely under the impression Teppei Hojo would get killed tonight. Who was the deceased? Hiro Tomatake, a photographer with a hobby for coming to Hinamazawa a few times a year. We didn't even have him marked. I wonder what happened. Did they realize we were watching the Hojo residence the whole time and decide to switch their target? Maybe. We sure flubbed this one. And there are no problems with Teppei Hojo? Correct. His daughter left for the festival in the evening. A little while later, he left on his motorbike. His daughter came back first. Wait. Has he not come back yet? Is he still out drinking somewhere? Oishi-san, are you there? Call from Chief Takasugi. He's on the line in car 1. I know they're watching Hojo's residence.
Oh no.
On to us.
Oh no.
Alright, let's continue.
Annie.
At first, I thought it was a dream. I was staring at the strange sheet, not really understanding what it was. That was all. I didn't go after it, nor did I ridicule it. The fact was that the boring view was the ceiling of my own room, but I didn't realize that for a fairly long time. Yes, I thought I'd been dreaming, but I'd actually been staring at the ceiling the whole time. Lethargy induced by the voices of the cicadas. Even after I realized I was awake, I couldn't draw forth the energy to sit up. Everything I could see, everything I could hear, everything was like a television broadcast that had already ended. It was hot. So hot I could choke on the heat. My back was moist with night sweats, and it felt gross. Ew. Hate that.
You gross, Keiichi Maibara.
Ooh, sweaty Betty. Unable to endure it any longer, I tossed in my futon, and finally, blood started coursing through my brain. I lazily recalled the long day I had yesterday. The reality, as I lay here listening to the voices of the cicadas, and yesterday, so different from it. In order to kill Satoko's uncle, I had rehearsed, formulated a plan, and dug a hole. It was very hot, and I was tired, wasn't I? And when evening came, I went to school and called him out on the phone. I panicked for a moment when he asked where the police station was, but it worked out. And then I awaited him and swooped down. I couldn't remember anymore what sort of emotions I'd let control my body. In any case, it didn't go smoothly, but I did it. It was very hard to dig the hole for the body. That feel of the rain pelting down on me, I don't think I'll ever forget it. The rain, the mud, and the sprays of blood. That rhymed, didn't it? The mud and sprays.
Oh,
I like it.
the rain, the mud, the sprays of blood.
Oh, that's a metal song there. The sensation of floundering in a swamp. When I met the Kano-san on the way home, that wasn't good, no matter how I interpreted it. It was the most misfortunate and uncalculated thing that had happened that night. Everything would have been perfect, if only I hadn't encountered her. Fucked up everything! Oh, by the way, Penguin, the World War I trench game, pretty spooky. Oh yeah, dude, that sounds awesome! I remember reading in history class how fucking terrified people were in those trenches. It sounds like a great fucking scary game concept.
Ooh, what scary game concept?
Uh,
Is it multiplayer? Are we playing this game?
I don't know if it's multiplayer. Zin was talking about playing a game set in World War One, where soldiers are in the trenches and you're like going insane. That sounds like a fucking great fucking concept. Tell her all
Sounds
about
really
it, Zin.
awesome.
Tell her about it, Zin.
Sounds really awesome to experience PTSD like that, you know?
Well, maybe not when you put it like that. Ah, I was just riding my bike with my shovel in one hand through the downpour, utterly soaked. Now it's a single-player game where you are a lone soldier trapped in a trench, steadily going crazy. That sounds amazing. That
Maybe
sounds
you'll
like
get a cat or a little rat you can play with.
when you go insane.
When you go insane, you just get a little rat you can play with. Hello, little rat.
A chunky little rat as a companion.
Please don't eat my toes.
What?
Rats, they'll eat your toes.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Fuck.
Yeah. Have you
That's...
ever watched The Other Side of Heaven?
No, I have not.
It's like a religious film that I watched when I was a child, and one of the characters gets their toes eaten by rats
Oh, Jesus.
and the soles of their feet, and it's haunted me since I was like 5.
Oh, God.
Because I don't know how that movie's PG-13. That's the scariest shit I've ever heard of. Nothing in Saw can even compare to that.
That does sound like a Saw thing, huh?
Like, right?
There was no way someone could surmise I was a murderer burying a body just from that information. I don't think it's too far of a
Too far
fetched,
off.
too far fetched of a thing.
That you were wanting someone dead, and suddenly, they died.
He was dirty, tired, and had a shovel with him. I don't know.
I don't know. What were you doing?
Oh, he's
Looking
just
for truffles?
looking for treasure, pirate treasure.
I was just out looking for treasure, you know, like any normal kid my age would do.
That's what they do. Now that I was thinking calmly, napping under the morning sun, that's what I thought. Still, the more I think about Takano-san's eyes, it seemed like she understood. Takano-san, he knew. He knows what I did that summer. That I'd kill someone, buried them, and that I'd been on my way home, exhausted. That I killed them, buried them, then ate them.
Yum 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 yum.
Takano-san,
Yum yum.
Takano-san wouldn't gain anything from selling me out to the police. But that didn't mean I could feel at ease. I should have killed her. I had crossed such a bridge to get my tranquil life back. And I'd finally achieved it as a result. But for now, the rest of my life, for all the tranquil days starting today, I have to live in fear of when they could suddenly end. I may have twisted my ankle, doled from total exhaustion. The fact that I couldn't make the snap judgment I needed to, I regretted it more and more as time went on. You didn't have a choice, Keiichi Maibara. You didn't have any choice at the time. You were tired. You were a mess. Even if you had made the decision, you might not have even been able to kill her. Well, not unless the adrenaline kept you going. She might have just beaten you instead. In that sense, parting ways uneventfully could have been just the safer option. No matter how sharp Takano-san's intuition was, she had no proof. Her suspecting me didn't amount to evidence by itself. Nope. Logically, I know that. But that doesn't mean I have nothing to worry about, does it? Just worry about it when the time comes. Now isn't the time to be worrying. It's the time to be smiling, right? You accomplished so much just to gain a new life starting today, didn't you? You should be happy at this new morning. If remembering the past is too hard for you, then just consider everything up to yesterday as having never happened. You said so yourself. You'd bury it all like it never happened. Well, your wish came true. Everything before yesterday never happened. So be happy, Keiichi Maibara. Yay! I stuck up my hands lazily. It felt a little silly for me to be the one doing it. I heaved a sigh from deep in my belly. That sigh got my lungs moving. It felt like I hadn't been breathing until just now. It wasn't enough to admonish myself over. All the dice that could be thrown already had been, and the numbers that turned up weren't bad at all. If I lost with those numbers, then I'd just have to give up, I guess. I grabbed the chest of my pajamas and flapped it back and forth. Cool air flowed over my sweating body. Okay. Nothing before yesterday happened. Nothing. Nothing at all. I'd forget it all. Yesterday was all of a dream. What time was it? About midday? Getting myself up and going to school this late seemed kind of absurd. But I needed to go. I feel like going to school would be the first step in my new peaceful life. I didn't care how late it was, I would go. I'd go to school right now and get back to the life I had retaken as soon as I could. My lazy body immediately became lighter at the thought. I rolled up out of the futon, bounced onto my knees, then leaped upright. Nice. Stuck the landing. I got my chest with pride at the gymnast-like pose, then took a deep breath of fresh air. The brisk morning air had been gone for a while, replaced by the crisp air of summer. Downstairs, I got a stern talking to by my mother. Where were you last night? When did you get back? You need to tell me when you won't be home for dinner, things like that. But considering the importance of what I'd accomplished yesterday, a little scolding was no problem. In fact, it even felt like this sort of thing would happen in this peaceful life. I listened with an irresponsible smile and stepped out in the sun high overhead. It was around the time lunch break would be ending. Everyone would probably be worrying about me. I didn't go to the festival, and now I wasn't at school. Well, maybe they weren't too worried about it. Since they would have gotten a small piece of news, but a happy one from Satoko today. Yes, a small piece of news that her uncle hadn't come home last night. Satoko would probably live her days in nervous tension for a while, thinking he might still come home. But eventually, those days would end. And finally, Satoko too would realize her uncle was never coming back. And then, Rika-chan would quietly invite her. He would say, "You can live with me again!" And everything would be back to normal. Our lives would go back to how they were before that man appeared. Sure they will, buddy. I have a feeling it's not. Satoko would start wearing that extraordinary smile, complete with those protruding canines, and fool everyone with those traps she was so proud of. I'd probably be her first target out of everyone, but I wouldn't be mad. In fact, I might actually shed tears of joy at the return of something so normal. Satoko, she'd gradually grow back into her meddlesome personality of hers. I mean, my lack of useful life skills was already completely exposed. I wondered if I'd ever be a match for Satoko. It would be such a pleasant thing to see, too. And with such warm, fuzzy predictions, I didn't feel bad for going to school so late. In fact, I wanted to run there now to get there as soon as I could. Instead, I decided to savor the peacefulness of just going to school like normal, without running. The world I'd obtained for myself, that gave me joy just by walking like this. Yes, the world beginning on this very day was something I had won. With that monumental feat yesterday, I would never have been able to come to school so cheerfully today. The school gate came into sight. Just then, I heard the principal ringing the bell to mark the end of lunch break. It was clear, refreshing sound. I stopped despite myself and let myself take it in. Yeah, I'd stopped suddenly. So there was an extra footstep. The Legos! Welcome, buddy! Thanks for the raid. How you doing?
It's Willagos! Hello, Willagos!
Streamlabs chat isn't working for me right now. Could you shout him
Was
out for
it
me?
not? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Please. Thank you.
That's my job. But like, no, literally.
I mean, like,
What?
it's voluntary, so it's not really.
No, I mean I am a mod.
I suppose.
Did you forget that I had a sword?
Well, yeah, I know that, but it's like voluntary. I can't like be like Index,
Yeah,
do it now.
but like, you know,
You're just so nice. That's what you are.
I volunteer as tribute.
Aw, you're the best, Index.
Aw, thank you.
How was your stream, Legos? What are you up to, buddy? I need to fix my shoutout command. I keep saying I need to do that. Where it shows what game they were playing when you shout them out.
Oh yeah.
I gotta find out how to do that. I accept Index's tribute, uwu.
Ooh. Thank you, Zen.
Budgie's a very lucky man. The little giggle you made.
What? What? What?
Can you clip that in? Or will it goes? Hi, I see that you're collaborating with Index today. I've rated her twice yesterday. Oh,
Yeah.
dang. Dang.
Yeah.
Twice? Did he
Yeah.
stream twice?
Yeah, my stream cut out.
Oh.
And then like a few minutes later I stopped stream because I was like, I can't do this today.
Yeah. Index is very nice and joined me again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, how was your stream, buddy? Good to see you.
He texted me halfway through the day and said, "Hey, can you do Higurashi today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
I gotta start doing that earlier, don't I?
I assumed we were doing it, to be honest.
Really? Oh no.
Yeah, I assumed we were playing Higurashi. To be
I
perfectly honest, I just assumed you were gonna ask me, so
I conditioned
I
Index.
set a time. I set a time.
Oh, thank you, Zin.
Wait, what? No, I have to watch this.
Uh-oh.
What?
That little giggle you did. Can you post that in the Discord, Synthetic? In the clip booth? What were you up to, Willegos? Were you doing my art or something? Or forget?
Boop, 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 boop. I was poking my cat's nose. I'm sorry.
Okay, with the noise, the blessedness I was feeling throughout my whole body withdrew into any pore I could find. And, as if to replace it, I felt like hundreds of hairy caterpillars were climbing up my feet. Ew.
Ew, gross.
Ugh. I turned back, but of course, nobody was there. A single footstep could have easily been my imagination. But the footstep felt so ominous. That extra footstep I had heard after seeing Takano-san off last night. Everything that happened on that insane night, I don't mind something like that happening once. It had been a hell of a night after all. In fact, having just one hallucination was pretty fortunate. But those footsteps should have ended with yesterday. So if I heard them again today, there was really only one thing it could have meant.
The demon.
The last night still wasn't over. It was still going. Still. That insane night. Forever. The step I heard. Just one extra footstep was quietly ridiculing the nonsensical notion that the world starting today was completely different from the one that ended yesterday. My classmates playing in the schoolyard all vanished inside like the tide going out. When I approached the school, it felt like the warm, fuzzy scene had ended, and it didn't feel good. Uh-oh.
Oh.
At the entrance, I took a quick look in everyone's shoe boxes. The fuck? The Toko Hojo, she was here. Okay, that's why he's looking out. Neon was here too. And Rena, of course. Even Rika-chan was here. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were here. In fact, I didn't see any missing classmates. If there were shoes missing, they would have been my own. I took my shoes off and stuck them in, then took out some slippers. There wasn't a single pair left in the shoeboxes anymore. With that, they returned to their rightful state. But as I stepped onto the wooden floor, I noticed there was just one pair of slippers left. Huh? Whose? Satoshi Hojo. Satoshi, who had never been to school since disappearing last year. I was actually wondering when you were going to stream again because I really wanted to raid you. Aw, thanks, Willagos. Sorry, I posted my schedule pretty late. I just posted it like before the stream right now.
Yeah.
I'm bad at getting the schedule done on time.
You're better than I am. I don't even have a schedule.
You just gorilla streams?
I just do things at the same time almost every single week, but I just don't tell anyone about it. It's like when I had my birthday stream and like 3 days before my birthday, I just put out cryptic messages that I was having a birthday stream.
Cryptid messages?
Cryptic messages.
Like, the world will end in 3 days.
No, I put up balloons and I'm like, ooh, what's happening soon?
Uh-oh.
Kind of thing.
Satoshi, who had never been to school since disappearing last year. Till now, we had committed the exact same act of violence, but I guess in the very end, it went differently. You couldn't make it to school, but here I am. I didn't repeat the same mistake you made. I wasn't about to let myself feel superior about that. In fact, I felt an odd sense of familiarity with him. A misfortunate bond with someone I'd never met due to following the same fate. I headed down the hallway towards the usual classroom. It felt like it had been a whole year since coming here. Hey, did you forget? H.E. Maibara? Satoshi Hojo didn't really disappear on the night of the Watanagashi, did he? Satoshi Hojo disappeared a few days later. On Satoko's birthday, if I was right. Uh-oh. I didn't know what day it was, but I couldn't say for sure I'd avoided Satoshi's failure unless I remained here past that day. Index encrypted. Has her schedule ever been pictured? Find out next time.
I posted it as a picture like twice.
That's it?
Yeah. When I was trying to like get into doing it, and then I gave up because I just every time I make a plan, like a solid plan, it goes awry.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
The universe always conspires against me, so I just don't like I have a solid plan, but I don't exactly advertise it.
You don't have cryptic status then, Index. You can never be photographed. Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can never be photographed. Photographed.
Cryptid,
Photographed.
Cryptid's like an undead, isn't it?
Cryptid is if I remember right, like have you ever played like a cryptid game?
No.
Like cicada or something? I think that's what a cryptid is, isn't it? Like cicada.
An insect?
Oh, it's like a it's
Oh, it's like a legendary creature.
no.
Cryptid is a Bigfoot or a Mothman. So like mythical creatures?
Yeah, I'm a unicorn.
Cryptid,
Yeah.
I think something
Well,
like
actually, you know what's really funny? Someone has drawn me as Mothman.
what the fuck?
Uh-huh. Who do you think it was? Who do you think would make enough cursed art of Index?
Mystia?
No, it's Rayless.
Oh. I didn't know he did art.
No, he usually takes my art and edits it.
Oh, okay.
Let me send you the cryptid art. The art he made of bashing me and Astral together.
Uh-oh.
I sent you it. It's my little knife, but it has like the face of Astral on it instead of my face, and just it. I don't know. I'm like, why do you like this? I say that all the time to this man. Why you like this? That's what he did for his debut. Is he just edited my art?
For your debut?
For his debut. He just
Oh.
edited my art.
Oh shit.
It's like
The
cursed
whole
shit.
the whole debut he's just editing your art.
Well, he was face swapping other people's avatars, but most of the art was all stuff I had done, so it was really funny.
That's funny. So cryptid is Bigfoot or Mon? Is it like when I think cryptid, I think morbid,
Uh,
like cryptic, like
you know what cryptozoology is, right?
no.
It's the study of mythological creatures. So a cryptid would be a mythological creature.
Oh, so it's just okay. When I hear cryptid, I think like I just think morbid, but I guess I'm thinking wrong.
Cryptid, an animal such as a Sasquatch or Loch Ness monster that has been claimed to exist but never proven to exist.
Okay. Okay. So like in essence, they're monsters, though.
Contrary to popular belief, cryptids do not have to be supernatural, mythical, or even all that strange, though many popular cultures acquire these characteristics as their legends grow.
Interesting.
So like uh the Hookman is a cryptid.
Okay. Okay. Just
Yeah.
mythical beings, whatever, human or creature or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. Basically, IRL folktale SCPS. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I was still living that night of insanity. Can't escape it, Keiichi. The teacher still hadn't come to the classroom. The other door clattered open. I gotta hydrate. Okay, well, I go. And I gotta stretch.
Oh.
Ah.
Ah.
Ooh.
Can you stretch too? Oh, he moved. He stretched.
I feel my bones cracking.
My cat decided to sit on my lap, so I have a cat.
Uh-oh. The other door clattered open, the one that the teacher wouldn't use, so everyone turned at once to see who had arrived. Everyone looked pretty vacant. Hmm, suppose I'll greet them. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I do thank you for coming all the way out here today. Silence. When I started to think I'd fallen flat, someone finally started laughing for me.
Good morning, Kei-chan. You're pretty energetic today. Huh. Yeah, energetic.
Oh shit, I gotta do the penguin laugh too.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah.
There, you got double penguin laugh. Hope you're happy, Willigos.
Maybe you haven't gotten out the festival mood yet.
Hearing Mion and Rena's cheerful voices made me realize how dumb those dark feelings I've been having at the entrance really were. Hey now, festive mood? I wasn't at the festival at all, remember? Before I could say that, Rika-chan smiled at me.
Kei-chan. Katie-chan. Sorry. I know how to read. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Keiichi, did you make sure to watch my dance? Yep. He saw it just fine. Didn't you see how big an applause he gave you? And he ignored it when the troublemaker Shion came up and made a pass at him. Take that. Oh, sorry. I don't think that's quite her voice, is it? Take that, Shion. I don't know. I want to make her sassy for some reason today. Wow, that
Sassy's
felt good.
Sassy would actually be good for Mion, I think. Mion starts laughing at the memory as she slaps me a few times on the back. Wait a minute.
They're covering for you.
So, how did that target practice contest turn out in the end? Amita-kun was facing me and talking. There was nobody behind me. That meant he was talking to me?
Tomitake turned up dead last. Everyone had a good time with his punishment game.
Yep, I definitely am. The double penguin laugh was fantastic. Well, you're welcome, Malagos. Those only come every 1,000 points.
Weren't you supposed to be the one in last place, Rika-chan? It's such a turnaround when you pull off getting that chewing gum. Should have expected that from a member of my club. It was fantastic.
Trying a time like that is a feat only Furude would be allowed to do. Okamura-kun, breathing heavily from his nose, said that.
Aww.
In my direction. Everyone laughed. If anyone but Rika-chan had done it, it would have been against the rules. Rika-chan gave one of her Nipa smiles as she listened to it. In my directions. Rena, too, turned to me. No, turned towards me. And then, with a somewhat embarrassed smile, she whispered to me so only I could hear.
But really, thanks, Keiichi-kun.
For what?
That giant stuffed animal. I was really happy. It's nice and safe right at my bedside. And I made sure to give it a good night kiss before bed, too.
Nipa! Congratulations, Malagos! Congratulations for redeeming first! Let's give a clap for him. Yay, Malagos! I'm surprised
Good
Melody.
job.
Surprised Melody didn't redeem it. Heck. She's slipping right now.
Wait, what is first?
That's the first okay, it's like the first redeem of each stream. It can only be redeemed once for 1 point. So like whoever's here and redeems it first is the winner.
Ah,
Yeah,
so.
Maybe I should give people a reward for that. I don't know. The class laughed at that, cheering and jeering. This whole time, the conversation had been a little bit off. I wasn't quite getting it. What's this? About a stuffed animal. What's this?
What's this?
Oh shit.
Come on. We all worked really hard at the festival yesterday to get it down, remember? That gigantic stuffed animal? That gigantic stuffed animal?
Rena seemed taken aback, but when she answered, she did it with a smile.
We were having a hard time knocking it over, so we tried aiming at the forehead and rapid fire shooting and stuff. And then, Keiichi-kun, you got a whole bunch of guns ready beforehand and shot them all. Pew pew! It was so cool.
Wait. Who was this?
Yeah. All the people in the neighborhood association, including the chairman, were praising you so much at the party afterwards. One of them said he'd fallen in love with your way with words. Tokuzo Kimiyoshi, the chairman of the children's committee, I think. He said he wanted you to entrust you with a few of the stalls at the next festival. Tokuzo is the chair of the refreshment booths. He's on the festival executive committee.
My brother-san is great at making things sound good, isn't he? Yep, whenever he talks about something, it seems a lot better than it actually is. You can't say that.
Ichi-kun, you're a great salesman. I bet you'd be great auctioning off overripe bananas or something.
The fuck? Who would do that?
I don't know.
What have you been talking
Someone
about?
who really wants to make banana bread.
Can you do that with overripe bananas?
Yeah, that's how you make banana bread.
Holy heck. I mean, I didn't go to the festival in the first place. I swallowed those words. I didn't know exactly why, but in Hinamizawa, this is what had happened.
Mm.
Yesterday, during the Watanagashi festival, Eiichi Marbara had appeared, and he had romped with all the usual members of the club. He made a big scene at a few of the stalls, snatched a few sticks of takoyaki and okonomiyaki at his glee, rating each of them as delicious or terrible to get everyone excited. And they'd seen a gigantic stuffed animal at the practice game, and everyone went after it. And then I got a whole bunch of cork guns, firing them in rapid succession, throwing each one away after using it. And it admirably. I shot down the biggest stuffed animal there. And then I gave the stuffed animal, the proof of my victory, to Rena as a gift. Then our fun came to a close as we had to go see Rika-chan's offertory dance. There was a ton of people squeezed in there, and we all got separated, but we each managed to get in good positions to cheer Rika-chan on from. Then in the middle, when Shion came up and asked me to go hang out with her instead of watching the dedicated dance, I refused, and stayed put, watching the dance until the very end. But who? Who was that? Well, everyone's been saying it, haven't they? Eiichi Maibara. I had an urge to yell in anger at my classmates for having so much fun talking about the festival yesterday with Keiichi Maibara. What the hell are you guys even talking about? Far stronger than that feeling, though, was the sheer uncanny nature of this reality I couldn't understand. A Keiichi Maibara who wasn't me was in Hinamizawa yesterday? As I threw away my humanity, turned into a demon, and was busy beating Satoko's uncle to death. I was having a great time at the festival last night. What the hell? I had to suffer through so much, desperately holding back tears, getting so worn out in that downpour, digging holes, chasing, beating, killing, dragging, and burying. Who was this Keiichi Maibara who had ignored me so and spent such a fun, carefree time at the festival, damn it? Who the hell stood in for me as I put my life on the line working so hard to achieve this treasure like everyday life? If there was another Keiichi Maibara besides me, then what was I? On the night of the Watanagashi, where one died and one disappeared in accordance with Oyashiro-sama's curse, there was only a demon who had killed someone. Dumbfounded as I succumbed to a horrifying possibility, I looked around at my classmates. To make sure there was nobody extra I didn't recognize among them. To make sure I wasn't among them. It was a horrifying thought that the real Keiichi Maibara hadn't overslept and had come to school on time. And that I, who was no longer Keiichi Maibara, had just waltzed in here. But no matter how much I checked, the only people here were the ones I knew. Among Us Sussy Wussy Baka among them? Yeah, it seems like it.
Oh no! The Among Us Sussy Wussy Baka.
Wussy Wussy.
So sassy.
The man I met every time I looked in the bathroom mirror was not there.
Okay, everyone. Time to start afternoon classes. Please take your seats.
Index, please, says Synthetic.
President, please lead the class. Please what? What do you want, Synthetic?
I don't know what he wants.
I don't know what you want. What do you want? What do you want, Synthetic?
Tell me what you want, what you really, really
Really,
want.
really want. I'll tell you what I want.
The teacher entered and everyone hurried back to their seats. Upon finding me, who was so stupidly late, she gave me a stern talking to, but I wasn't listening to it. Wasn't our old life supposed to start today? Something wasn't right. It was just strange. No, I was just
You want
saying,
me to speak in the Sussy Wussy Baka voice?
you gotta pay money for that, buddy.
You want me to speak in a really Sussy Wussy voice?
Where's that from, actually? Is that from anything, or just...
No, I just talking like a baby.
Oh. I've heard other people say that, and I'm like, what the fuck is that from?
I don't know what Sussy Wussy Baka is from, but I just talking to a small child or a baby.
No, it's more of a please stop. No more! Please!
Please, my ears have died.
Something wasn't right. It was just strange. I was supposed to go back to my old, fun life after yesterday. I had set foot in my incomparably mysterious world that was completely different from both my old life and my recent one. Yes, this was, without a doubt, a different world than the one I'd been living in until now. There was no way such an absurd thing could be possible. But, unless it was true, I couldn't explain anything that just happened. In this classroom, I was surrounded by so many faces I knew, and yet I felt isolated. Cicadas sounded no different than they had before now, but they seemed somehow false. The air was parched and dry too, making me think, was the air in Hinamizawa always this uncomfortable? Hey, Rena.
What is it? We're in class.
About the festival yesterday. About when would you say I got there?
Huh?
To be honest, I was pretty excited afterwards, and I gobbled down some cans of beer. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but I don't quite remember some things. What? Wait,
Wait, is this supposed to be Rena talking? Rena, don't drink beer, you're a minor!
Rena!
I mean, from random babbling, it wasn't a bad excuse. It wasn't a bad excuse.
Wait, did she say that, or...
Who the fuck is talking?
I think she said that, but he's like... Eiichi's narrating it?
Look on night. Kiichi, you said you couldn't come at first, didn't you? You called me Chan's house about it, right?
That matched. I called Beyond and told her to take Satoko in my place. I wouldn't be able to meet up with them due to things I had to do.
We all decided while you were setting up for the festival that we'd invite Satoko-chan. We wanted to bring her out someplace that she couldn't see her uncle for a while.
That was the same too. Mion said that when I called her, that everyone had already decided to invite her.
And then we went, me, Michan, Rika, and Satoko-chan's house, and brought her out. Sorry, 1 second. Satoko-chan's uncle seemed like a really mean person.
That part didn't matter. What I was trying to ask was... well, when did I meet up with you?
How could you forget that? Kiichi-kun, this is why I said to get a good night's sleep before the festival.
Whatever. When did I meet up with you?
Well...
At my sudden, threatening demand, Reina was at a loss for words. Oops, I shouldn't have rushed that. I told her I was sorry.
It was at the shrine grounds. I can't see the computer anymore because my cat's decided to get up on the... There he goes. Now he's gone. Okay. It was unexpected. He knew I was talking about him, so he left. You were talking about Rika-chan, weren't you? Yep. You were having a fun talk with Rika-chan in her shrine maid outfit. And then Rina came up and said, I'm taking you home.
I was talking to Rika-chan?
And I asked Kate-chan, don't you have something to do today?
Wait, let me read this real quick.
Okay.
It was at the Shrine Grounds. It was unexpected you were talking to Rikan, weren't you? Wait, what? That's when he showed up?
Yeah.
Oh,
He was talking to Rika.
okay.
And then you pounded your chest and said it yourself. Not letting loose at a festival was more important than some silly errand.
I didn't say that. I never said anything like that. I never even went to the Shrine Grounds yesterday to begin with. I never had the time to stop by a place like that. I went to dig the hole as soon as I woke up. I had a pretty hard time doing it. After that, I snuck into the school and made a call. I called him out and lay in wait. Then it started raining really hard. With that kind of downpour, the festival should have come to a halt. In other words, it ended then. From the time the festival started to when it ended. It would have been impossible for me to have swung by the Shrine Grounds. I was already there when Mion and the others dragged Satoko out and brought her to the shrine. I was talking to Rika-chan. Then, where would Rika-chan say we met? The teacher went out to wash her hands, so I ran over to Rika-chan's desk and asked her directly.
With you?
Yeah. We were talking to each other before Mion and the others got there, right? When did we see each other? When and where?
I don't know what you're trying to ask.
I can still hear Rena's Japanese via Omochi Karairi. That's from the show? I'm not familiar with the show, sadly.
That is sad.
You know, yesterday I didn't really get enough sleep and my head's a bit fuzzy. I don't remember a thing. It looked like Richan bought into my babbling. Yeah,
We saw each other. Sorry, I was reading chat. We saw each other when the mayor and the others came out of the assembly hall. You were in front of the ritual implement storehouse. Ooh,
wait.
That sounds like a demon.
Huh? What? The ritual implement storehouse? I never heard a building called that before. Or maybe I have, but at the very least I wouldn't know where on the Shrine Grounds it was.
The mayor got really angry at you since you shouldn't go near holy places without authority, remember? Keiichi, did you forget that too?
I was too scared to ask anymore. The more I asked, the more it became clear without any doubt that Keiichi Maibara was present in the Furude Shrine Grounds during the Watanagashi Festival. The clearer that became, the more doubts, no, fears I had. Who on earth was I yesterday? Whoever that was, he had a good time in my place. I managed to go the entire day without letting them notice I wasn't there. Oh right, when did that person leave everyone? This morning, my mother got mad at me for having stayed out late last night. Which meant in the very least that Keiichi Maibara didn't come home while my mother was still awake. The festival would have been closed because of the downpour. If I recall right, when I went back to the house's storage room to get another shovel, I think the clock said 7. Since it was already raining hard by then, the festival would have had to close down before 7. If I'd returned that early, I would have definitely ran into my parents. Or at the very least, they wouldn't have asked me when I got home back last night. So the Keiichi Marbara from yesterday, that meant he never went home. That meant the downpour happened, the festival was broken up, everyone left. But he didn't go back to the house. That means when I arrived at the natural conclusion, a wicked chill suddenly froze my spine and climbed up to my brain. That meant Keiichi Marbara was the same as Satoshi. One day, he never went home. On the night of the Tanagashi, he never went home. The downpour interrupted the festival, and on the way home, he suddenly disappeared. And I, who was dealing with the corpse, went home without a problem. I was so tired, I wasn't even hungry, so I went up to my room without a sound and crawled into my futon. Who was I? That much was obvious. Keiichi Maibara. Keiichi Maibara was me. There may have been another one, but that doesn't negate the fact that I was Keiichi Maibara. Then, that other Keiichi Maibara was that... The voices of the cicadas steadily filling the classroom were beginning to bother me. Suddenly, I laid eyes on Satoko. Satoko's expression was dark as always. She seemed completely exhausted. As a life of agony she couldn't even imagine an ending to. What had last night been like for Satoko? Did she have fun with everyone and feel a little happier, if even for a moment? And when she went home, end of her dream, she'd probably gone to sleep afraid of when her uncle would return. And then, this morning, her uncle hadn't come home. And then she went to school. Right now, she must have been still trapped by the rotten idea from which she couldn't be saved, that her uncle would need her when she got back. But you can rest easy, Satoko. Your uncle won't ever be coming back. I couldn't tell her it was because I killed him. When Satoko realized on her own that her uncle would never return, then that would truly be the end of this long, insane night. That's right. I didn't do anything wrong. I did the best possible thing I could have as Satoko's Nini. Not an atom in my body regretted it. And look, calm down and think, Keiichi Maibara. From a certain point of view, isn't it convenient there was another Keiichi Maibara? I buried the corpse perfectly. A beginning wouldn't happen. But if worst came to worst, and it got out, and the investigation got to me, I now had a strong alibi, able to press the fact that I'd been at the Watanagashi festival. But accepting something so creepy and using it as an alibi, still, if I proved I hadn't gone to the festival yesterday, it would do no good and a whole lot of harm. That was what left the really, actually bad aftertaste. You'll forget about it, Keiichi Maibara. Everything that happened before today. So just forget about the Keiichi Maibara who was there yesterday too. Instead, let's watch gently over Satoko for her the day her smile returns. And the day that would mark the end of that insane, all too long night.
That's all for class. That's all for today, class. Please go straight back to your homes, everyone. President, if you would. Everyone stand up, at attention. Bow.
Goodbye. I thought about many things and saw my thoughts dispersed by many other things. I didn't know whether or not at the time that had been spent worrying or daydreaming, but either way, it came to an end along with class. Cheerfully, our classmates got their things and ran for the hallway.
I thought that was really something cool about Japan.
Hmm.
That they thank their teachers at the end of every day.
I bet teaching in Japan's a lot better than here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mion, Rena, and Rika-chan were packing up as well. What about Satoko? Ugh, rehydrate.
Oh, I drink too.
This whole day, she seemed deflated. Well, her uncle may not return last night, but she wouldn't have known he'd never return. How much I wanted to express that fact to her. Satoko packed up her pencil box and math workbook messily, and after a dark glance at the clock, heaved a sigh. Then went to leave the classroom. Then somebody placed a hand on her shoulder and stopped her.
What is this? Oh, I watered the plants like I was supposed to and got all the printouts done.
Her words, possessed by a persecution complex, hurt. I spoke loudly so everyone could hear. Hey everyone! Why don't we have club today? It's been a while. Satoko always had to tend to her uncle, so club had been on hiatus. In our minds, our club was proof of a calm, peaceful life. By enjoying being together, I wanted to make Satoko realize her days of darkness were over.
I'm okay. I'll do it. Well, I mean, I don't mind. It's okay with Toko.
Under a condition. That was important. Everything up to her, Satoko gave a worried look. Come on, Satoko. It's been a long time. Let's go crazy!
Well, I'm happy you feel that way, but
My uncle might already be home.
my uncle might already be home.
Thus spoke her darkened eyes, her mouth unmoving. You've been choking on life every day for a while. You must be about to suffocate. It's not good for your mind or body. Once in a while, you gotta have some fun.
Please, leave it alone. It's not like I don't want to do club again.
With one word, but. She looked down. Satoko, you know as well as anyone that it's more fun being with everyone, right? We're friends. That means we can spend time with each other. I mean, you had a great time at the festival yesterday with everyone, didn't you? Rena nearly said something, but she was too late.
Ichi-san, what are you saying?
My arm on her shoulder seemed to weigh her down, and she threw it off.
When exactly was I playing and having a good time at the festival? The only one having fun was you, Kiichi-san.
Huh? I looked over to Mion for help, but now everyone was looking down. My instincts told me that Satoko hadn't gone to the festival. But Rena said it herself, that she went with Mion to Satoko's house to invite her.
Satoko-chan left on the way there. She didn't go to the shrine.
Why? I realized the absurdity of what I just said with Satoko in front of me.
She said her uncle was waiting at home, and she couldn't have fun by herself.
I must go now, sleep, have fun, guys. Thank you, Zen, for stopping by, man. Have a good
Yeah,
night.
good night, Zen.
Have a good night.
Night. Night, Zen. When we were in front of the shrine, we tried to stop her too. We told her her uncle said it was okay, and that he wouldn't get mad if she had a good time.
At some point, tears had begun welling up in Satoko's eyes. Satoko was so afraid of her uncle that she couldn't even allow herself time with her friends and went home. No, she was even afraid of letting herself have a good time with her friends.
Ichi-san, you must have it nice. having a blast at a festival all night. They told me you went all out, didn't you? I'm envious.
Smiling to herself, her tears began to fall. Oh.
I must provide for my uncle. It's completely different for you, with how you let your parents do everything.
Satoko.
I'm so glad you enjoy yourself at the festival. I'm so glad you had enough fun for me too. I mean, I want to participate in club too. Making such a racket with everyone is so much fun. But right now, I can't. I can't.
Unable to withstand such violent emotion, a few teardrops slid down her cheek. But even though she was having such a terrible time, not once did she ever say that it was hard for her. It was a sad, obstinate bravery. But the days when Satoko had to feel like that were over. Satoko didn't need to endure it, to bear it anymore. She could forget it all about now and smile. I was so frustrated not being able to tell her that directly. Instead, I said something that I'm not sure I should have said before I thought twice about it. He didn't come home, did he? The words were deeply meaningful to me, but I didn't know if Satoko understood them.
Didn't come home? Who?
He didn't come home last night, did he? Your uncle?
What are you talking about, Kiichi-san?
Satoko shouted with all her might.
When he's not... When has he not been there? When? When?
Calm down. I mean, he didn't come home yesterday, did he?
I don't understand what you're trying to say, Kiichi-san.
Satoko, what are you talking about? I mean, that man, I killed him. Killed him yesterday. Killed him for sure. And I buried him. Buried him whole. He could never have returned to his house.
Even yesterday, he was tormenting me so much. He yelled at me. He shouted at me. He found fault in everything I did. He threw the dinner I made him on the floor. He dumped his bowl of miso soup on me too. It was hot. It was so messy. And I cleaned all of it up. I cleaned all of it.
Oh god. What? Our stories weren't matching up. Night.
This morning, when he woke me up to make him breakfast, he got so mad at me. He would have got mad at me whether I got up or not.
Satoko. Rika-chan went over to Satoko and said a few words of consolation. But Satoko angrily refused those words and thrust Rika-chan away.
Nini! Nini! Come back! Come back!
Soma Rigel, thank you for the follow, my friend. How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. I'm the Ice Emperor Penguinato, and I'm here collabing with Index Regalia.
Bum 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 bum.
Brum, brum, brum. Are you a fan of Higurashi, my friend? Crying, Satoko slowly walked out in the hallway. After a moment, Rika-chan went after her. I couldn't stop thinking about the words Satoko had spoken while crying. I buried her uncle last night. But she said this morning, that was impossible. Now that I see this type of people I can find in the attic, what? I shall notify my fellow sun deities to not encourage global warming. What?
What? What?
Arctic, I shall notify my fellow sun deities to not encourage. Okay, I got you. Now that I see this type of people I can find in the Arctic, I shall notify my fellow sun deities not to encourage global warming. Oh, thank you, Tomarigo. I appreciate that. I hate global warming, and I hate the heat, and I hate mosquitoes. Really hate mosquitoes. Good God, I hate mosquitoes.
If it makes you feel better, the rest of the planets are warming up too. You
Yeah.
wouldn't even find solace on Mars.
Really?
Yeah.
Mars is heating up too?
Yeah, most of the planets in the solar system are actually heating up about the same rate.
Why?
According to an astrological thing I was reading.
What? Why?
Something to do with radiation. They're not sure.
From
No
Earth?
one knows.
From Earth? Or is it like just shit that's going on over there?
Black holes. Woo! Spooky.
We all know Mars is ILMAO territory. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I see.
I thought it was Elon Musk territory.
Uh-oh.
Isn't Mars Elon Musk's territory?
Is it?
Yeah. Elon Musk is gonna make Barbados Gundam. The Barbados Gundam. That's how Barbados Gundam happens.
And Mars?
Yeah. It's all gonna be Elon Musk.
Uh-oh. I buried him last night, so he couldn't have seen her uncle this morning. What was Satoko? At that point, I heard Mion's cold voice.
Hey, Kie-chan. What did you mean by Toko's uncle?
Gulp. I said too much. Let my emotions get the better of me.
Mina heard it too. You said Satoko-chan's uncle didn't come home. Why? Why didn't he come home? That's strange. Satoko-chan's uncle was right there this morning, wasn't he? So, why would you say he didn't come back? Come back? Kei-chan, you've been saying weird things for a while.
Suddenly, Mion and Rena started to speak in strange and creepy voices. What were they doing? What were they saying?
Kei-chan, is it somehow inconvenient for you to have Satoko's uncle be around?
No, what are you talking about? Of course it would be better if Satoko's uncle wasn't there.
Yep. That's true, of course. If only he wasn't there, right?
Uh-oh. Oh my. Something wasn't right. The next thing I knew, Mion and Rena were smiling thinly, and their eyes were dark and muddy in a way I'd never seen before. As our eyes met, that mud even seemed to fill the air.
Satoko's uncle is an awful person, Satoko's uncle is an awful person, no doubt. I think we'd all be better off with him gone just as much as you do. But he's here. There's nothing we can do, right?
Nothing we can do? Something's wrong. Something clearly wrong here. What the hell was happening? After a moment, a chilly liquid-like feeling, as though my blood had been mixed with sherbet, crawled up my spine.
Sorbet. Sherbet. Or sherbet. Actually, that one's sherbet.
Sherbet? That's how you say it?
Sherbet. Yeah, sherbet.
That
Like
was,
sherbet ice cream.
it was sherbet or some shit. I don't know.
Sherbet. Sherbet.
Okay. No choice. I mean, of course there isn't, but then Satoko will never.
If there's no choice, what would you do?
Rena was trying to prompt me to say more. There really was no choice, so I killed him. I killed him to protect Satoko. That's.
Leave him alone. I think things will resolve themselves soon enough. Yoko-chan said her uncle was here, so he's here. He's here yesterday, and he's here today. She said so it's fine, right? Right?
Miata and Rena were speaking unbelievably dismissively. How could they be talking like that? Mion and Rena, they're my friends, and were seriously worried about Satoko's abuse, weren't they? They would never blurt out something like this. And I definitely killed Satoko's uncle. No matter what Satoko or anyone else says, I wouldn't acknowledge it, because him being alive was impossible. There's no way he was alive. It was impossible. And yet, since Satoko herself said he was there, then he was alive. I didn't know why or how, but suddenly, Mion and Rena were at my sides, standing there silently.
Let's go home, Kei-chan. After me, Rena wants to go together. Sorry, it's like really blurry. Wants to go treasure hunting for the first time in a while. Mi-chan is coming too. Kei-chan. Kei-chan, you should come along. Of course. You're not allowed to refuse.
If words could freeze blood, then there was no doubt that they would have frozen me solid. I could hear it, a strange sound like a layer of thin ice spreading, emanating from every joint in my body. And with them closely at my sides, we left the school as if they were police officers taking me away. They talked about silly things the entire way home, like they always did, but they always stood at my sides as if to prevent me from escaping. This was strange. Everything about this day was strange. Actually, it had been strange ever since the previous night. Yes, thinking back, it had been strange ever since killing Satoko's uncle. That creepy meeting with the Kano-san was only the beginning. That insane night was still continuing. Yes, it still hadn't ended.
What? What's wrong, Kei-chan? Why did you suddenly stop?
Sorry, it's nothing. When I stopped, it was distant, but I definitely heard them. An extra set of footsteps. That was proof. Proof that insane night hadn't ended.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Uh-oh. Mian left where she usually did, and finally we came to my house.
Okay, Casey-kun. Sorry. Wait here for me. Rena will come to pick you up soon.
What was it? She was inviting me along on one of her oversized garbage treasure hunts? The dam site, right? But why now? Mian coming along was strange too. Mion may have accepted Rena's little hobby, but she hated fishing through garbage, so she'd never come with her before. And the location specifically being the dam site was a little creepy. The dam construction site was completely outside the flow of everyday life. It was so remote that no one ever went there unless they thought it was too in particular. Nobody lived there, and there were no lights, so at night it got dark very quickly. I was being forcibly invited there. There was no reason I had to fear Reina and Mion. Besides, wouldn't the trouble I'd make by refusing them be a pain to deal with? In that way, it didn't seem like going treasure hunting with them was a bad idea. But that insane night was continuing. Haven't the sirens of instinct been wailing in my mind for a while now? Warning me that Rena and Mion were strange? That I needed to be cautious? The warning sirens were so freaking loud it felt like my head would split in two. Ah, Rena. I actually have something to do.
Can't see the screen. You gotta move your body. Something to do? Like what?
Like what? It's I just have something to do, okay?
Oh, if you have something to do, why didn't you say it while Meat-chan was here? I already told her to meet us at the dam site before we split up.
Rena was smiling, but her words made her discomfort clear. Sorry, I just kind of missed the opportunity to say so.
Really?
You're lying, aren't you? You just made that up now, you liar. That's what Rena's eyes said to me. My head hurts. I might have a cold. So I wanted to go get you checked out and get some medicine.
Really?
That wasn't really a lie. My head did hurt a little bit, so I wasn't lying. Rena, she couldn't figure out if my head hurt or not just by looking at it.
Then I guess that's that.
After staring me in the eyes for a few moments, she fired a sharp, needle-like stare at me. The tension in my body loosened, and it felt like my knees might buckle.
If you're going to the clinic, then you should go soon. Sometimes they close early.
Thanks. I'll do that.
Make sure you go, okay? To the hospital.
Uh, I will.
Go, for real.
I will. It seemed like Rena had realized that I was going to refuse her invitation for a while now. With how serious she looks, she might actually call the clinic later to make sure I went. I couldn't say anything careless. Lying about getting checked out was just an excuse to decline a request in the first place. It didn't matter whether I actually went. Yeah, I'll go. If you want, I can bring you the bill tomorrow.
Oh, that would be good. Be sure to bring it, okay? Rena will look at it then.
Another tingle started crawling up my back. There was no ignoring it. Rena and Mion must have been monitoring my movements. That wasn't normal. Far from it. All of it was insane. I did what I did because I wanted my peaceful life back. But what? What on earth was all this? It was far from peaceful. Something had gone mad, leaving the world out of order. With the other Keiichi Maibara. With those creepy footsteps I've been hearing. With Rena and Mion acting so curious. And above all, with him being alive. Where was I? Hinamizawa Village, Ishibone. I knew that much. Was this really the Hinamizawa I knew? Hey, Keiichi Maibara, where is this? I asked, whipping around before the front door to face the one who has been following me in my wake all day. Nobody would have been there, of course. Keiichi Maibara, huh? That's what I just called him. Called the one who'd been trailing behind me this whole time. That shadowy presence, always clinging to me, like it was constantly watching for the opportunity to change places. Footsteps always following me was another impossibility. It couldn't have been a ghost, so it was just impossible. So the strangeness must have been my ears, my head, or Hinamizawa. Everything I could see was same exact Hinamizawa I knew so well. That gave me the creeps. Eventually, I decided to actually go to the clinic. I really didn't want to go outside, but a stronger feeling than that desire was the fear Rena might actually be keeping an eye on me, to see if I went to the hospital. But before I went to the clinic, there was something I wanted to make sure of. It was at school. I pretended I'd forgotten something. I was going back to the classroom to pick it up. And as soon as the thought crossed my mind, I was overwhelmed by paranoia. I was just going to the classroom, but I hated it so much, having to be so careful to take it. After carefully verifying once more that nobody was watching, went over to the locker. Yes, Satoshi's locker. I committed the crime with the bat I found in this locker, Satoshi's bat. And then I had thrown the bat into the swamp. Which meant the bat wouldn't have been inside. But, what if the bat was still in here? It was a very dreadful, incomprehensible idea, but if it was true, it would explain a lot. If the bat was in here, yesterday's events would have all been a delusion. No, an illusion. I hadn't killed anyone, and I'd gone to the festival. I had a great time rampaging about it with everyone. It would prove that Keiichi Maibara was actually really me. Proof that I was only under some strange assumption that I'd killed Satoku's uncle. Blech. Proof that it all had been a wild fantasy. That would explain everything. Nothing happened yesterday. I had just gone mad, unable to separate my shocking, uncle-killing dream from reality. That would explain everything. If the bat was here, would I be able to accept that reality? If it was here, nothing will have changed. If it was here, it would just mean I'd gone crazy. Preparing myself for the worst, I opened the locker door. I was actually scared of opening it slowly, so I threw it open with a bang. And just like the first time, the choking scent of smell and sweat, like a stale towel, came flowing out. There was a baseball uniform and some miscellaneous other things like notebooks. There was also a shoe pouch. And as for the bat, it wasn't here. It was how I left it when I took the bat out.
Hmm.
There was no doubt. Yesterday really happened. Now that I knew I wasn't a lunatic, I felt relieved. But at the same time, if I wasn't the crazy one, then Hinamizawa was. That was evidence of a reality I found just as difficult to accept. There was noise, somehow creeping into everything I saw, and the world was losing a tiny bit of color. So, what did I know about last night now? Now that I'd made sure the bat wasn't there, I didn't need to be here anymore. Shall I go? For real? To the hospital? It was my first time going to the hospital, and from what I'd heard, it wasn't far from school. My mom had told me where it was. A big, easy-to-see road went straight there. I went past the shopping street, made a turn. It wasn't overly hard to spot the sign with Irie Clinic written on it. There was another person, an older man there, an air-conditioned waiting room. I went up to the counter and told them it was my first time here. The man behind the counter glanced at the clock and said there would be a short wait. It was almost 5. Clinic hours would be ending soon. As I sat in the unfamiliar waiting room, isolated from everyone, and let myself feel the cool air, I actually felt relieved. What should I tell the doctor when he comes? I could tell him I had a cold, but I was the very picture of health. Actually, I wanted him to check my head. I wanted someone to confirm for me whether I was really sane or not. Keiichi Maibara-san? Please come into the examination room. Huh? The voice? From the other side of the examination curtain. I thought I'd heard it somewhere before. Uh-oh, it's the coach! Hello. This is the first time we've seen each other here. Coach! Coach, you were a doctor? I'll let you mention it. He did seem to know his way around when he was looking at my shoulder in the nurse's office. It would make sense if he was actually a doctor. Come to think of it, our teacher called him Aide-sensei, didn't he? Well, yes, I'm more or less a doctor here. Doctors have it really good, you know. Get to see and touch all that young, silky, smooth skin. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, what a pervert.
Oh my god. I could steal their agency with the suspicious injection and have them be my personal mates. What the fuck, coach?
Just do it in the creepiest voice you can think of.
Oh god. I could steal their agency with the suspicious injection and have them be my personal maids. Dar. Oh dear, oh dear.
I die. That was good.
God. I'm gonna creep everybody out. I'll watch. Thank you very much. Just seeing that made my cold go away. I'll be leaving now. Polite bow. Whoa, wait. My Bada-san. A joke, it was a joke. Come, sit down and let me take a look at you. I'll need to use my stethoscope, so show me your silky, smooth chest, my Bada-san. For some reason, I felt really relieved. After that insane night, as much as I thought everything had gone crazy, Coach was here doing the same thing he always did. I was very happy for that. You're happy he's still being a creep? You don't seem to have a cold. Actually, those scrapes and cuts all over you seem to be the painful thing. Don't tell me you're playing in the bushes with short sleeves and shorts. I mean, I can't say for sure you haven't been infected with tetanitis. Tetanus. Bleh. As I was chasing that man last night, I kept being scraped by bits of trees. I didn't realize I had so many cuts. You were a little too crazy at the festival yesterday. Enjoy that while you're young.
Question.
What's up?
Penguinato.
Yes.
How often do you need to get your tetanus shot?
Every 10 years?
Yeah! You get a gold star. How
Okay.
often do you need to get your MMR?
20 years?
Every 40 years.
Okay. The hell's MMR again?
Measles, mumps, rubella.
Okay. And once again, I apparently went to the festival. Coach, did you go too? To the festival? Yes. Of course I did. I may be a doctor, but I'm also on the Watanagashi Executive Committee. Did you see me there? This coach was the same coach that I'd always known, and I felt like I could trust him more than my weird friends, so I asked. Well, actually, I was drinking in the main tent with the chairman and the others the whole time. I didn't go out to see the festival at all. I don't think I saw you. Oh. That was a strange question. Perhaps you didn't sleep well last night? You can't do that. You have to sleep and eat well to grow up fine. Coach let out a laugh. He didn't laugh in a natural way like Mion and Rena did. Coach was okay. He was the coach from the world I knew. He wasn't someone from this abnormal world. Well, this all might seem a little weird to you, but I want you to hear me out without laughing. Yes, go ahead. I greatly welcome any shy, bashful worries you might have as you come into puberty. Star. Oh my god. Could it be possible that I have an identical twin? Coach hadn't expected that question at all, and couldn't say anything for a moment. But then, he smiled calmly and quietly answered. This is just superstition, but I've heard before that everyone has two other people in the world who look just like them. If there was, I'd certainly like to meet them, though. Also, there are plenty of fairy tales where a person's double appears. The German ones about doppelgangers are probably the most famous. Doppelgangers? Yes. They look exactly like another person. Apparently, they herald misfortune, and if you meet one, you're sure to die soon. I think that's how it went. When you meet them, you're sure to die soon. The story ended directly in death, plain and simple, and it made my spine tingle. Coach wasn't saying it to scare me, though. He was just offering a casual anecdote, but that made it feel all the more real. Have you ever heard of one of those things showing up in Hinamizawa? What? Well, I can't say that I have. Coach must have thought he was being teased, so he laughed in an exaggerated way. But when I didn't smile along with him, his laughter steadily grew fainter. I'm sorry, well, I was sort of being serious. No, I apologize for laughing. Was there something you were worried about? I wondered if I should tell him. Then after resolving myself one final time, I slowly spoke. I I didn't go to the festival yesterday. Is that right? Well, there'll be one next year. And then you can... That's not what I meant. I didn't go to the festival, but according to everyone else, I was there. Could that even be possible? After blinking his eyes in amazement, Coach thought seriously about what I was trying to say, and he answered, choosing his words carefully. Let me make sure I have this straight. My Barakun, you went to the Watanagashi festival, but don't remember it? Am I right? I was trying to say something completely different, but I suppose any sane person would come to that conclusion. That night, Kichi Marbata was actually at the festival. I was saying I didn't go. That obviously meant my memories of going there had failed me. But that was absolutely impossible. The vivid act I had committed during the downpour couldn't possibly have been an illusion. All these scrapes on my body prove it, as does the fact that the bat wasn't in the locker. No, that's not it, Coach. I really didn't go to the festival. Please don't take offense, my Bata-san. Have you ever had an experience where you were suddenly somewhere unfamiliar and you couldn't remember why? No. I didn't lose my memories or anything. Because while the festival was going on, I was definitely doing something else. It wasn't like I was asleep or unconscious or anything. You're certain you were doing something else? I know I'm being awfully rude, but are you serious you're not Are you sure you're not mistaken? I know I'm not. My memories are clear as day, and they were real. During the festival, you weren't at the shrine, and you were doing something somewhere else? Can you definitely prove that? That's right. Thinking it through brought me to this. There's only one way to prove I really wasn't at the festival yesterday. And that was to show that there was no doubt I had killed her uncle. Coach saw me struggling to answer, and his eyes looked a little cold. I guess they would. After all, from Coach's perspective, I was just a weirdo spattering nonsense. Would you like to lay down? Maybe you should relax and take it easy for a bit.
Let me look at that body of yours.
Let me take off your clothes for you. Oh god. Sorry. I didn't really come here to lay down. You seem to be a little worked up. Why don't I give you a sedative that'll let you sleep for a bit? That way. I'm not being strange! I realized Coach was treating me like a deviant, so I raised my voice. I apologize if I've offended you. So please, calm down. I definitely didn't go to the festival. That's the truth. I understand. I understand, so please calm down. Take a deep breath. No, you don't understand at all! Coach was stunned, and stared in stupefaction. I do understand.
That should actually be changed to a stupor. Which would make more sense, not stupefaction. That's
Is that a
just
word?
It is, but it's just used really improperly.
It's like slang or some silly word.
Yeah. I mean, it's a word. It's not proper for a stupor would be a more grammatically correct way of saying it.
Right. You didn't go to
Sorry.
the festival yesterday. Oh, good. Is that right? I believe you. I believe you. Coach jotted down a brief note in his records. He was writing it in German, so that his patient wouldn't know what it said. But I can make a good guess as to what he wrote. You won't believe me until I tell you everything I was doing at the time, will you? No, I believe you. Please sit down. Before I sat, I tilted my head back a little. The blood in my face all drained out, and I quieted down. After taking a deep breath, I made sure that I was calm now. It would have been impossible for me to be at the festival, because at the time I was... Did I tell him or not? I really didn't want to go living like this, feeling this horrible. And I said them, the final fatal words. Because I was killing Satoko's uncle at the time. I could smell the concrete in the room. I could feel the air around us sharpen. Nobody moved. Only the sound of the clock ticking told us time hadn't stopped. With his mouth wide open, Coach even forgot to blink for a little while. You killed Satoko-chan's uncle. Yeah. It's fine now, Keiichi Maibara. Don't hesitate. Admit it with all your strength. Yes. Last night, I did it. I killed him. I spoke clearly and fluidly. I could easily tell that Coach's mind had gone completely blank. Why would you... No! That was a foolish question. I believed it was the most direct method of saving Satoko, so I carried it out. I don't have any regrets. I see. Heh. Coach smiled thinly and nodded a bit. So I couldn't have been at the festival. I left the brightness of my house for the darkness of the outside. After that, I dug holes, made phone calls, I had my hands full. And then I attacked him, killed him, and buried him. It was pouring hard at the time. The festival started that evening, but was suspended due to the rain. There were no gaps in my memories. From the late afternoon until it started to rain, there was no time for me to possibly have gone to the festival. And those wounds, are they from that? Yes. There's a road through the forest near Satoko's house. I attacked him there. He ran, but I chased him, and finally killed him near the road that leads to town. Is that true? Killing her uncle, it wasn't some wild fantasy? I could tell that Coach didn't believe me. So I spoke slowly, not letting myself grow excited. It's true. I killed him with Satoshi's bat. I threw it and the uncle's motorbike into the swamp. I dug a hole, killed him, and buried him. I did it all by myself. Satoko's uncle drove past you on the motorbike, did he? Index, do you want to help me read this, or it's probably gonna be them talking for fucking ages.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You want to do Keiichi? I'll do the coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I can do the coach and sound like...
You want to be all creepy like?
I could sound like a... That was a really big stretch I just had.
Uh-oh.
James from Pokemon.
Oh god.
I don't know why, but his voice, like...
Kind of looks like James.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead. If he can do that, go right ahead.
Satoko's uncle drove past you on a motorcycle. Did he?
Oh god.
Then you... Sorry, wait. Predicted he'd do that and just waited?
I assumed he wouldn't be leaving his house that day. So I lied to him over the phone to get him out.
You called him? Oh no. But your house was so far away from Satoko-chan's. I wouldn't think you'd be able to make it there so soon after calling him.
Oh shit, I gotta do the art. Oh god. Okay, well, Legos, this shit's cursed. Hope you're happy. Ada. There you go. Hope you're happy.
Ada.
Oh god. Index. I used the phone closer to where I was going to attack him, the one at school.
But my bar-san, it was Sunday. Wouldn't the school have been locked up?
The forest ranger happened to go inside for a bit. I slipped in when I had the chance. After that, Coach grilled me on a few different things regarding the incident. He made sure to question me carefully, looking for any contradictions in my account.
I'll believe you. What you did yesterday, doesn't seem like a dream.
I explained everything, including minor details that only someone who had actually committed the act could explain. I could, of course. It was only yesterday. Coach realized that my story had no expedient conclusion. Oh shit, hey, Kitten Chef, how you doing? God
Hey,
damn it.
Kitten Chef.
Okay. Ada. Hope you're happy with your cursed Ada.
Such a curse. And I love every moment of it.
Welcome, Kitten. How's your day going, man? Good to see you. Coach realized that my story had no expedient coincidences or too convenient details that would have existed in a daydream or a delusion, and finally seemed to want to believe me. So, do you still think I went to the festival and lost my memory? Coach slowly shook his head. But everyone in class, they said I was at the festival yesterday. Is that even possible?
No, it's not.
Okay, Penguin, your Ada was definitely cursed, but Index's wasn't. No, but she didn't want hers to be cursed. I did.
I can do one with this voice, I guess. Ada. Oh.
Oh my, oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Your classmates probably mistook you for someone who looked very similar. Then, given how group psychology works, everyone just assumed you had been at the festival.
I like Penguin Ada. You like the cursed Ada, Kitten?
And you too.
Okay, so we got 2 votes for the cursed Ada. Getting an Index.
I just wanted to do an RR so you didn't feel lonely doing it.
Thank you.
It's the same reason I do penguin laugh with you.
And stretching and making.
Mm-hmm. So you don't feel like you're lonely.
Aw, that's very sweet, Index. Thank you. They couldn't have mistaken me. Mion and all the rest said they were spending time with Keiichi Maibara. It was much more than just having mistaken someone else for me. But saying that out loud would just confuse Coach. He spoke to me in a whispered tones.
No. Do you feel guilty at all?
Oh god. Imagine him getting up to your fucking ear saying that.
Oh, yes.
Nope, still wasn't curse, Index. Aw.
I tried so hard.
Gotta make it all evil sounding and shit. Like it came from hell.
Ada.
That's still not curse. That sounds.
God damn it!
That's too sexy. Like make it unattractive. Like
unattractive.
There you go. There you go.
Keiichi Maibara.
It didn't sound like he was criticizing me. And even if he had, I would have flatly said the same thing. I don't. I did it so that I could return to the peaceful days that he'd stolen from us. So I plan to forget all about having killed him and live my life as usual. Once Satoka's regular smile returns, the one from before he showed up, everything will finally be over.
Any chance that someone witnessed the crime?
I don't think so. If someone had seen me, I would have been arrested already.
I'm a doctor. My job is to save lives. So I cannot make any statements to the effect of condoning the taking of another's life because I made a Hippocratic oath and I'm not a hypocritic oath. So instead, I'll say this.
Coach slowly rose and placed a hand on my shoulder.
For saving Satoko-chan. Thank you, my dear lad.
Oh dear. Nope, still cute. I don't know. I think that one was cursed.
He just caresses your shoulder. He's just like, woo-hoo-hoo.
Coach's eyes started shedding warm tears. When I looked at
I'm
him,
gonna catch the Pokemon.
I could started to feel some tears of my own. I didn't know what I was crying for. And so, for a little while, the two men in the room fought back their tears. But it's strange.
What is?
I'm sure I killed him, and yet he seems to have returned home alive. Coach's expression immediately sharpened.
Put down the gun!
What?
Depending on the situation, there are many ways a mere unconsciousness, god damn it, cat, can look like the real death to a lay person.
Oh, kitten. Those cutesy emotes. Nope, Indexus still was not cursed. Whatever you say, Legos. Whatever you say, man.
Let me be cursed!
Whatever you say, buddy. It's like you're fucking drowning in your own fluids. Oh my god. Ew.
I don't need so many fluids, jeez.
What?
Oh god. Damn it.
What? What did you say?
I meant blood. I'm good.
What did you say?
No, I'm good. I'm not gonna repeat it.
I'll have to check out the VOD later.
God damn it.
Did you already read this? I forget.
Oh, I read it.
Okay. Kitten Shop says, I'm a cursed? Are you, kitten? I don't think you're cursed, kitten.
Cursed. Cursed cat. New thing is possible. He just knocked out. I mean, you buried him, so like.
Well, he like bashed his head in, from what he said. I didn't check for a pulse, but I'm pretty sure it did him in.
It's actually, I don't want you to be cursed. Too bad, I'm already cursed.
Oh, that's sweet.
No, but like really, I am actually cursed.
You feel like that, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I feel cursed sometimes.
I do too.
I can ask you to reproduce the situation in which you attacked him, Mabara-san.
Coach rolled up a Health and Fitness Week poster nearby and offered it to me to represent the bat. Oh, it's the fucking... No, I may have been lost to the emotions of the beast that night. I remembered in detail the number of times I swung the bat, the angles I had swung from, and the force I had applied. Using Coach as a stand-in for the uncle, I reproduced them over one by one. And when he tripped and fell, I bashed him in the top of the head like this.
Touch me harder.
Ugh. Because there's still people I have to remind or tell them that I'm a cat boy. What?
Wait, is Kinshop a cat boy?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought Ken was a cat. I didn't know there was anything else involved. I just thought cat.
Everybody thought Kitten Shop was a girl the first time they met him.
Oh.
It was funny.
I don't know. I just thought cat. I thought cat. Like, actual, just like my cat. I just figured it was cat that could speak human.
Well, you thought a cat was using the internet to talk
Yeah.
to you. What?
No, I mean, like, their persona and everything was just a cat.
No.
Just cat. Ah. I see. All right, let me file that away in VTubers that I need to follow for reasons.
Index, you're
Yes,
not cursed.
kitten.
You're cute. Uh-oh, you
Shut
gotta
up! Ah, shut up, Gus!
admire her right there. Okay.
Kitty.
And when he tripped and fell, I bashed him in the top of the head like this. When I did, it felt different from the other strikes. I thought I'd cracked his skull. Coach was calmly analyzing this information and using the places I'd struck and the situation at hand to find out what state the uncle's body had been in. I wasn't totally sure he was dead, so I hit him a few more times after he fell.
Did he react at all?
At first, I sort of felt his body jolting with every hit, but eventually that stopped too, and he didn't react at all. Coach folded his arms and said, a few times. And then he spoke.
He's like touching your shoulder as he's doing this.
He's like massaging your shoulder gently, caressing. Oh, God.
Giving you a little back rub.
Oh, God.
He's dead. There's no doubt about it.
He didn't just look like he was?
I can't say very much just from your story, my Bar-san, but I think it's almost certain. Oh, okay, Ken.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Well, Ken just said that they'll be right back.
Oh, thank you for the host, kitten.
Hostess with the mostess.
When I get hosted, it doesn't say in my activity feed on my phone.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I'm not crazy, am I? Yeah. You already read this, Index, or?
Besides, you buried the corpse in the mud, and that took you quite a bit of time, right?
Uh-oh. Did you die, Index?
Let's say it took you 30 minutes. No, I'm looking for Kitten Shop's Twitter. Kitten Shop, do you have a Twitter?
I think he does. You alright, Index?
Yeah, I'm just looking for a Twitter. I'll have to ask it when Ken comes back. That would mean he was buried under the muddy water for those 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure he didn't breathe very long. If he didn't breathe for that long, your brain will die no matter what.
If you hold your breath for 30 minutes, you die?
Yeah, pretty much. I think the longest recorded time is like 14 minutes.
Jesus Christ. Like, willingly holding your breath, or like being deprived of oxygen?
For willingly holding your breath.
I think, like, you literally can't, after a certain point, you just pass out, right? At some point, you just pass out, and it'd be involuntary to breathe. You mean, even ignoring how hard I hit him, you would definitely have died while I was burying him?
That's right. It's impossible to stay alive buried underground for 30 minutes.
Possible. You're right. But Satoko, she says he's alive. Coach, a doctor, just gave his stamp of approval that he was dead for sure. That made it seem all the more unfair that he could still be among the living. Maybe they're lying to you?
My Bar-san. This really is a horrible idea, but is it possible that the person you killed wasn't actually her uncle?
Huh? He's right. That could be why it cleared up the inconsistency of my definitely having killed someone, but him still being alive. There's no way. I mean, we were both at Satoko's house when she was bringing his alcohol inside. There was a man who stuck his face out the window to look. It was him, right? That was Satoko's uncle, right?
Yes, you're not wrong. It was that man.
Could she have had more than one uncle or something?
No one that I've heard of. It's just him. Watch, you killed your own dad.
Could you tell
Your
me
name is.
what he looked like? Oh god.
Well, his height first. He was about 175 centimeters, maybe a little taller.
Convert centimeters to feet. I don't know.
He's about my height.
5'9"?
Yeah, I think it's 5'7".
Oh, that's my height. In order to eliminate the worst possibility that I killed someone else, Coach began to thoroughly compare what the man in his mind looked like with what I told the person I killed looked like. But
5'7".
okay,
Yeah.
that's my height. But no matter how in depth my description went, none of the characteristics differed. The uncle's traits, according to Coach, were all exactly the same as the person I killed. But those traits were all extremely vague, and they weren't particularly distinct at a glance. Could you, well, is there anything else about him that would let us identify him for sure?
Now that you mention it, I've never seen it, but he has a tattoo. I believe Satoko-chan once said a long time ago that he had a tattoo of a tiger or something on his back.
A tattoo? That was really important. Not
Good
everyone had a
identifying
tattoo.
mark. Yeah.
If I found a tiger tattoo on the back of the man's corpse, it would be proof I'd killed the right one. At the moment, though, there was one other thing that would verify this. To go to Satoko's house and see for myself the uncle that had returned home despite having died. But that was far more terrifying than digging up the body and looking at its back. Without even looking at the tattoo, I knew for sure that one I'd killed had been Satoko's uncle. I cracked his head open and killed him. And yet, he'd gone back home. There wasn't any misunderstanding or even the shadow of doubt in my mind about having killed him. And yet, it was impossible for him to exist. Kind of like how Keiichi Maibara had been in the festival despite it being impossible. That small commonality made me feel as though a faint but bizarre force was permeating the insane Hinamizawa. I'm 5 feet 6.5 inches. Oh, well, we share the pain of being below average height for men, I guess. Sadly.
I was gonna say I thought average height in America was
For a male?
8 inches. Yeah.
Oh, then we're like right below it then.
For a man in the US, let me look it up real quick. Oh, 9. 5'9". My height. Dun, dun, dun.
Uh-oh.
I know I'm like a way above average for women though.
You're a giant index.
Yeah, it's 5'4".
You're a kaiju index.
Mm-mm-mm.
5 inches on the normal height. Holy shit. Blow fire and shit.
Kaiju!
Kaiju decks. Kaiju decks. Did you read this or no?
I wonder what on earth could have happened. Despite you not going to the festival and killing Satoko-chan's uncle. Hoo-hoo-hoo. You're at the festival and you killed the uncle you killed is alive.
None of this makes any sense. When I look at everything that way, it's almost like I'm just having a nightmare and there's no killer at all. But it's the truth. The sensation as I use my own hands and that bat to bash him again and again. It was no illusion or dream. Coach let out a slow sigh, then after looking at the clock, he got up.
Let's go over this all a little more seriously. If you excuse me, I'll go put on some tea. The clinic's about to close after all. I need to let the other employees leave.
He's like, I'm gonna go make some tea, and he calls the cops.
That's what I was like.
That's what I would say.
Okay, I get it, I'm short.
It's cool. Well, I goes, I'm short too, man.
No, man, I've just been this height since I was like 12.
What, since 12? God damn.
Yes, I haven't even like grown.
So you
I've been this height since I was like 12.
just became a giant at 12.
Yeah, it's why I have so many medical problems. It's because I grew a foot in 3 months.
Jesus.
I grew a foot and a half in 3 months, and now my nerve endings can't catch up to the rest of my body.
Did you have like some kind of growth issue or something?
Nah, I'm just a bean sprout.
Okay, genetics, I guess.
Genetics. I mean, my dad's like 6'5".
Coach stood up and went out into the hallway, leaving me alone. The clock was about to strike 6. I was at the festival, and the uncle I killed was alive. Had I really committed murder yesterday? The only whisper of a fact that proved it happened, the absence of that bat from Satoshi's locker. In any case, I was glad that Coach had taken my nonsense seriously. They could all be lying to him. They could be covering this shit up. That's also another possibility. If you went to the house and saw the uncle, you'd know if that's true or not. I just confessed to murder. Normally that would frighten a person away. But Coach didn't run, he cried with me. I was glad he did. Like so, my tension smoothly melted away, and I suddenly realized I really had to urinate. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, my worries have melted away. Instead of being tired, I have to pee.
That's funny how it led up to that. That's hilarious.
No, I don't actually have to pee. You're fine. We're not... My cat now thinks I have to go to the bathroom.
What the heck?
Because he normally travels to the restroom with me and goes up into the closet and plays around.
The dogs.
And so now he's run to the door.
Dogs follow me too, to like make sure I get there safe or some shit.
Okay, he's back in the window. Now he's gonna get angry at me that it's not open. Because it's raining outside.
I thought to use the restroom while Coach had stepped out. There was one across from the waiting room. As soon as I left the room, I saw Coach and 2 male doctors wearing white clothing standing in the shadows of the hallway nearby. I didn't particularly intend to eavesdrop or anything, but I was quite surprised upon noticing how uneasy they seemed. I hid behind the wall and quietly listened in. It seemed like Coach was giving directions to the 2 doctors. Black tea?
Black tea?
Oh
wait, that's you.
I could do that like other doctors and you do him.
Yeah, I'll do the creepy doctor.
Black tea? I'll make some.
Mix in the sedative you think best for the occasion. Cover the taste with milk and sugar.
He may grow suspicious at the sudden onset of drowsiness. It's possible he may get agitated and become violent.
We will handle that. How many male staff are there here?
1 mountain dog, including us 3. A mountain dog?
Well, come like
an actual dog?
I think it's a title.
What was all this? I think I was already agitated despite what Coach said. Was that it? Was it just a casual conversation that was only sounding unbelievable to me? Coach said he would bring back some black tea and left the room. And then, in the shadows, he was telling his subordinates to put some kind of sleeping powder in the tea? Plus, they were getting extra help in case I thought sudden sleepiness was suspicious and started getting violent? Hey, wait, Keiichi Maibara. Calm down, calm down. There's no way something this stupid could be happening. I mean, he was genuinely listening to my story, and he even cried with me. I thought he was the person in Hinamizawa who would understand. This was... No, this was...
There are signs of fabrications or falsehoods, and his memory of yesterday in particular is completely confused. He can no longer tell the truth from falsehood. It's quite similar to multiple personality disorder. But as for how quickly this mental disorder emerged, that's just not normal. Maybe it's inborn, or perhaps there were signs of it before he moved here? I'd like to take a look at any of his records of him staying in mental hospitals before he moved here. In any case, I want him to take a quiet nap. Gosh, you're gonna fucking Bill Cosby'd.
Oh god. No! No! The two doctors nodded deeply.
I should probably contact my Barakun's parents too. Though I can't think of what to tell them. Please find his phone number for me.
My eyes, still moist, began to shed tears once more. This was too cruel. I really thought he'd actually understood and had believed what I told him. Well, maybe telling him you killed somebody wasn't a good idea.
I'm just saying.
But now, from the other side of that wall, he was bluntly treating me like a crazy person. I believed you. I believed you.
Cosby'd.
I had let down my guard because I thought you were the only ally I had left after that insane night. Was that a lie? All that about thanking me on Satoko's behalf. Were you just pretending in order to keep me placated? Ugh! My tears fell to the floor in frustration. I was an idiot. I was an idiot. I was such an idiot for believing that bastard. I heard footsteps approaching the doctors. A man in a dress shirt with no tie came running up.
Dr. Amy! It's terrible! They found Chikano-san! Chikano-san? Ooh. Wait, where?
Well...
You do it.
Apparently they discovered her burned corpse in the mountains in Gifu...
He's dead? Chikano-san.
The men, all surprised, exchanged glances. Dead? Nakano-san? Hey, wait, so then does that mean when I cursed her, wishing for her death, that wish was granted?
What do you mean, burned corpse? Was it an accident?
According to the statement from the prefectural police department, the possibility is extremely high that she was murdered. As I cried, I laughed quietly. Serves you right. Serves you right. If I hadn't run into that woman, my murder would have been perfect. But she just had to come up driving up to me and tried to coerce me like that. I regretted not having killed her on the spot, but now she was dead anyway. My curse, my wish for her demise, it was fulfilled. Serves you right. Serves you right.
Risa-san died, and Chikano-san died. What on earth is happening in Hinaminazawa? Don't tell me that this is all Oyashiro-sama's curse for this year.
Like hell, like the curse be real, Coach said. Everyone present just nodded as Coach cursed at no one in particular. Cuckoo. Yes, maybe it wasn't Oriyashido-sama, but this was definitely a spell, a curse. I wished for her to die. So she did. If this wasn't just a coincidence, and she died because I wished for it, then you'll die next, Coach. You betrayed me. You pretended to believe me, but deep down you thought I was a madman. You looked down on me with all that pity in your eyes.
For now, get the black tea ready. I'll bring it inside. I don't think he'd let anyone besides me be alone with it.
Shit. What do I do? What do I do, Keiichi Maibara? This time, I heard the voice of a nurse.
Dr. Ire. Oh, there you are. You have a phone call? I'm a little busy at the moment, so please tell them I'll call back. Who is it from? Mr. Oichi from the Okinomiya Police Department. Sheesh, what bad timing. Alright, I'll answer it.
Coach left to go answer the phone. The other men headed down towards the room with the teapot to make the black tea, like Coach had ordered them to. Fortunately, Coach having to take the phone call meant there would be extra time for me to act. I had to decide what to do now.
Jump out the window?
Yeah, get the fuck out of there. Would I let him let him make me drink this sedative-infused tea, or be held down and thrown into a mental hospital? Nothing would come from starting a brawl here. They had more people anyway, and they're all bigger than me. If it came to a fight, I didn't stand a chance in hell. If I couldn't win against them, then there was only one thing left to do. Run. Adrenaline suddenly rushed into my brain, and my body started to move with keen instinct like it had on that night. My surface temperature quickly cooled, and the transmission routes between my cells enlarged. Using 360-degree visual information, I searched for an escape route. I would open the window behind me. Outside was a parking lot. There were no cars. A little beyond that was a bicycle I had to get there. I determined that this would be the quickest method of escape. I approached the window swiftly, with a little sound to raise a little suspicion as I could. With the speed and silence of a shadow, like I had on that night, I chased her uncle. I unlocked the window and opened it up. A cool evening breeze wafted in. I stuck my head out and looked over the parking lot again. Nobody in sight. No need to hesitate. I quietly crawled out and closed the window behind me. I held my breath and listened carefully. Nobody seemed to have realized I'd run. I looked around. Then, I jumped onto my bicycle and zoomed away. The pedals clattered under the force. And my bike always creaked like this? The pedals always whined every time I pushed down on them? My bike wasn't the only one crying, though. My tears fell as the wind cut through them. They rode the breeze and scattered behind me. Ugh! I hate this. I'm not the crazy one. Hinamizawa is. How dare you treat me like a madman? Die! Die! Just fucking die already. I believed you. I'd gone to the hospital in order to escape Reina and Mion's invitation. But the reality that was waiting for me had been too cruel. Who was the insane, me or Hinamizawa? Or was the answer something else? I started having trouble breathing. I didn't have any clue what was happening anymore. The loud chirps of the Higurashi were irritating me. Were even the Hinamizawa Higurashi I knew so well calling into the wind? No, that wasn't quite it. They weren't calling. They were crying. The pained wailing of those lost in some kind of rhythm in another world, no longer able to return to their own sunlight. I didn't do all that to end up in a world like that. And actually, at about this time, I might have been having fun with everyone else. Satoko would have gotten her smile back after realizing her uncle wouldn't ever come home, and she might have shown it to us at the first club meeting in a while. That was the kind of world I wished for. So, what was this? Why did I end up in such a strange, ghastly world? Someone I'd killed was living like normal, and I had enjoyed myself at the festival despite not being there. I don't want it. I don't want this strange world. When did it start to go wrong? When? When? No matter how much I thought about it, I never understood. I rode swiftly and returned to my home. It had begun to rain during my journey back, and just like yesterday, I was now soaked. But I didn't care about anything so trivial right now. The pain I felt in my heart, that coach, the one person I trusted, was acting so cruelly, was far worse. Did I have no allies in Hinimazawa anymore? With the naive thought that I at least wanted my parents to side with me, I stepped up to the front door. Wait, Keiji. It'll be dark soon. There's something you want to check, right? Yes. I wanted to dig up the man's corpse and get a look back. There was a tiger tattoo there. I would know beyond a doubt he was Satoko's uncle. That long night wouldn't end until I was certain. If this insane world was all reparation, all divine punishment, then I needed to make certain whether I had been successful enough to even deserve to pay the price. I went to the storage room again and got the shovel. It had been washed in the rain, but the paint was peeling, making it look unsightly. I never ever wanted to touch this thing again. The sensation of it in my hands was totally different from the night before. There was a ruthless coldness about it. Yeah, it would be dark soon, so I need a lantern too. There would be a little bit of light from the streetlights, but it would get extremely dark. I thought I put the lantern here, but I suddenly noticed it wasn't anywhere to be found. Then it hit me like a bolt of lightning. Of course. On that light, I hadn't brought the lantern back with me. I left it at the place I buried the body. If I didn't go get it soon, it would get very dark. And then, not only would I be unable to find the spot I'd buried the corpse, but I wouldn't even be able to find the lantern itself. If that happened, it was all over. Yeah, you left a fucking...
Also, you left behind evidence.
If you left something behind with your fingerprints, you're fucked. I need to hurry. In order to fit the shovel in the basket in front of my bike, I need to twist it and disassemble it. But it looked like there was dirt in the joints, and no matter how hard I pushed, it wouldn't come apart. After a strenuous effort, I realized I couldn't get it apart, so I decided to hold it in one hand and ride my bike with the other. Well, that's fucking suspicious. With the downpour soaking me through, and a shovel in one hand, and riding one-handed, it was as if I'd returned to that night. No, return was the wrong word. It was more like the night had never ended. The pain of the raindrops striking me were no different from then. That thing that was different was Hinamizawa. The world and nothing else. The rain clouds were already making it dark, and now it was about time for the sun to set. I could tell it would only get rapidly darker. Straight road leading to town. In the middle of it, that could be where I buried it. Yes, it was near that streetlight. On that night too, the water from the downpour was splashing down the streetlight's overhang like a waterfall. The pouring rain was exactly the same as it had been that night, and thus it brought back my memories into focus. I left my bike in the brush and stepped into the forest, the ground already soaked with mud. Where had I buried him? Think. The darkness, shadows, the water, the mud, everything was the same. Think! And then, I spotted a lantern by a fallen, moss-covered tree. That's right, I left it right there. If I left the lantern here, then I would have buried him over here. With the sensation of standing in the sludge, my feet remembered the spot better than my eyes did. I plunged my shovel into the ground. It's hard. It wasn't here. I just dug it up, so it should have been softer. I stick my shovel in a few spots to test what they feel like. One of them clearly felt deeper. I recalled where the lantern was, where the trees had things were in relation to each other. I knew that it had to be here. Under here slept that man's corpse. There would definitely be the tattoo of a tiger on his back. But if it wasn't there, then I had made a horrible mistake and killed someone completely unrelated instead. I'd be more dazed at the fact that Satoko's uncle wasn't dead then I would regret having gotten someone else mixed up in this. That would fucking suck. If this insane world was punishment for the sin of committing murder, I wouldn't be able to accept it until I killed Satoko's uncle for good. And then, without any fear, I'd attack him again. And that time, I would kill him for sure. But what if the tattoo was there? That would mean I killed Satoko's uncle. But that would be terrible strange. If I killed him for sure, then who was that uncle at Satoko's house this very moment? Impossible. I didn't even know anymore. What I was using the word impossible to refer to. I've used that word quite a few times today. If I had to make the words impossible fit just one thing, what would it be? That much was obvious to me. It would be impossible for this crazy world to be real. I shouted, then turned behind me. There was nobody there, of course. It hadn't been bothering me for a while, but those footsteps had followed me this entire day. Even just now, an extra set of footsteps had splashed behind me. No one was actually there, no indication of anyone even. But they were there. Who are you? You've been following me ever since I came to this world. That's right. Thinking back, the first time I heard those footsteps was after Takano-san and I had parted. Those footsteps, my welcome to the strange, inside-out world. No one could be there. I'd get no response. Whoever it was, they just kept staring at me. It wasn't ominous, just unpleasant. After staring into an empty space for a bit, as I bathed in the rain, my logical anger slipped away. My tension loosened, and a tired feeling reared its head. I tasted this feeling that night too. The sudden exhaustion I felt as the tension in my brain loosened. My vision quickly narrowed, and it felt like everything around me had suddenly gotten darker. I couldn't give in to this sensation. I would light what little explosives were left in my brain and force myself to keep going. I needed to dig that man out before my stamina ran out. I needed to see the tattoo on his back. I caught my suddenly ragged breath and calmed down. Then I stuck the shovel into the soft, muddy ground again. It felt exactly the same as that night. The sense of digging a hole in the beach, with water coming into it with every wave. What day was today? Had I gone back to the night of the Watanagashi? Every strange thought that came to mind tormented me. Given my exhaustion, I didn't think I could manage to hold those thoughts back. Once the hole was deep, all illumination finally faded, blanketing my vision in jet black. It was probably the moment the sun had fully set too. The night I had feared the worst had gone without using much light. My senses were so strained that I could see even in that darkness. But now, I didn't have that kind of strength left. I drained everything I had last night, and now the darkness would be lethal. I decided to turn on the lantern. Putting it on the first setting would make it give off a faint light. Even with how little there was, it was enough. The people wouldn't be able to see it far away from this rain. I grabbed a chilled lantern, turned the dial on with a click, and set it to the weakest light setting, and it turned on. An uncanny world of silhouettes appeared before me. A complex and strange shadowy world created by the intricate entanglement of trees and branches. I'd only turned on a light, and it was like that was all it took to make the world into something else. Hello, Elise.
Hello, Elise.
Pee-pee. Uh-oh. I let out a quick, tired breath and wiped the liquid, neither rain nor sweat, from my brow. Then I raised the shovel into the air and slammed it into the mud. How are
Just
we doing?
listening. That's what I'm doing.
We're doing fine. I'm trying to recover from a bunch of mosquito bites, goddammit.
Oh,
Besides
so
that,
weak.
I'm alright. You want to read for a little bit, Index?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. That
I'm
moment.
painting my nails and listening to you.
Uh-oh. That moment. The silhouette surrounded me. Ominously all moved at once. Inside my head, something panicked in there. Something coarse but not hot or cold was loudly rushing about. The silhouettes were all around me, looking down at me. And one of them, a silhouette bigger than the others, stepped forward. God.
Good evening. The moon sure is beautiful tonight.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
Oh, fuck! Never go back to the scene of the crime!
Someone done fucked up. You should have just gone to Satoko's house, dude. Why did you come back there? He's not very smart.
He's not very smart.
My building is old and the windows have big gaps. Oh no, why is he confessing? He fucking confessed to the doctor earlier. This guy's really dumb. Ichi's fucking stupid right now, Elise.
I mean, he's also a child, so...
Yeah, true. The coarseness
He's
in
like, what, 15?
I think so. And he just apparently just killed somebody, so... Not to the crime. Confessing to what? The coarseness in my brain shot through my whole spine and left me at my waist. The strength in my body all left me through my hips, and I crouched down with a splash. Into the sea of mud I dug myself. Oishi.
Oh! Is this really how you address your elders? You have a rough time of it once you become an adult.
There wasn't only Uishi, but 5 or 6 of them in a row, men wearing raincoats. It had no inkling that this many people had gotten so close. It was like, once I turned on the lantern, they just appeared there, sliding out of the shadows.
Please don't mind us. Just think of us as trees in a forest, perhaps.
Don't mind them?
Yes. Pay no attention to us. Please continue digging your hole. It's very late and raining very hard. And you're working pretty fervently. We won't get in your way. Please, dig to your heart's content, so we don't have to. No foo 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 foo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The moon is beautiful was a way that I love you was translated into Japanese. Really? What? That's how it's translated into Japanese? What the fuck? Is that for real, Index?
Yeah.
Pretty iconic among weebs. I never knew that, actually. That's interesting. No thank you, I said. When I tried to get up and turn around, 2 men blocked that route. They stood on either side of me and lifted me up with amazing strength, then threw me into the sea of mud. Oh shit. As I, soaked in the mud bath I dug for myself, looked up at the silhouettes looking down at me. Oishi squatted, picked up my shovel, and threw it at my feet for me. It bounced loudly off the mud and hit me in the face. Ow.
Come. Please continue. Continue.
I couldn't bear the oppressiveness of the silhouette surrounding me, and slowly, I stuck the shovel into the mud again. I felt like I was digging my own grave. If I kept digging, it wouldn't matter whether there was a tattoo or not, because that man's corpse would appear eventually. It was all over. Surrounded on all sides and nowhere to go. But I just couldn't figure it out, no matter how much I thought about it. Why were they here? Was it the Kano-san? There was only one person who could have made the connection between me and this place. Shit, I knew it. He deserved to die.
Stopping so soon?
Ah! Bam. Oishi kicked me in the back, which took me by surprise, sending me flying into the mud.
Hurry up and dig, please. You really should consider the fact that some of us are standing here in the rain.
This guy's a dick this fucking episode, Jesus. Fuck you. If you don't like the rain, then just go home. Gah! Oishi kicked some mud in my face.
Use your hands, please, not your mouth. Only strange actors do both at the same. Hey! Hey!
What?
Hey! Hey!
What?
Only stage actors do both at once.
Oh, index.
Oh, hey! Hey! Leave
was...
it to Oishi-san to be a pervert.
Oh, God. Stage actor? Wait. Oh!
Oh my god, that took you so long. I'm so disappointed in you, Penguinato.
I'm not used to them making sexy jokes in this. Oh, God.
That's Oishi-san. He brought us porn, man.
That's true, actually, this fucking guy. It was a way that it was translated into in a book and got memed eventually. Oh, God. Oh, dear.
Isn't that right, boys? Oh god, that's even worse.
The men around him didn't react, not knowing quite whether they should laugh, but when Yoshi glared at them, they started mumbling out pain chuckles. Just who was this guy? I knew the world had changed after the night, but if I went even further back, didn't it start when this guy showed up? That was when our peaceful days had been taken from us. Ever since he showed up in Hinamizawa, things had been odd. Everyone stopped smiling, and the world went crazy. Ha! Ha! The ground under my feet gradually got harder and heavier. At this point, even I started thinking that something was odd. I hadn't buried him this deep in that night, had I? My exhaustion peaked, and I sat down on the spot. How long do you want me to dig?
Kids these days have no stamina. Hey, you.
At Oishi's gesture, the men pulled out their own sinister-looking shovels. As I watched the daze, one of them grabbed my collar, dragged me out of the hole, and threw me onto the ground. The rest of the men stepped into the hole I dug and started shoveling themselves. As I stared at them, dumbfounded, Oishi sauntered over, squatted down to look at me directly.
Ichimabara-san. Is this a hobby of yours, digging holes on rainy nights? ...
When I didn't respond, Oishi took one of the tin buckets they were using to bail out the muddy water, scooped up some of it, and splashed the whole thing on my face. God damn.
And the rain's heavy today, too. No matter how wet I get, I still don't understand the appeal.
Oishi smiled to himself and scooped up another bucketful of muddy water.
I'll ask you again. Is digging holes on rainy nights your hobby?
Who the hell would have a hobby like that? Splash! Oishi hit me with another bucket full of muddy water. The pebbles in it stung.
Will there be something in this hole? I've always liked that story, you know, about the old man who could make plants bloom and the puppy digging in his yard for gold.
As he spoke, he ran the bucket through the muddy water again, to splash it in my face again.
What kind of treasure is buried down there, huh? Can't you at least give me a hint?
If we want to know, then dig on your own time, you fucking pig. I wasn't saying that out loud, for Oishi mercilessly drenched me in muddy water again anyway. Shit, shit, shit! If only he hadn't shown up, the world wouldn't have gone wrong. Ever since he showed up, things have been strange. Hope got abused by our uncle. I ended up killing him, and the world went crazy. He was how it all began. Because of this culprit. He splashed another bucket of mud in my face. My insides were seething with anger. Die. You. You die too. If I have some strange power to kill someone by cursing them, like with Takano-san, then you're dead. And it won't be Oyashiro-sama's curse. It'll be mine. I'll curse you and kill you.
What a rebellious look you're wearing. Why don't you use this opportunity to teach you a thing or two in that regard? We really do live in peace these days. When I was about your age, corporal punishment was the norm for everything.
Oishi-san. One of the digging men in raincoats wiped some sweat off and called Oishi over. Oishi tossed the bucket away, then turned around with an evil grin on his face.
What? Yes, what is it?
Please, look at this. Acceptance or maybe resignation. I wanted to say to them, so you blockheads finally found it. Yeah, that's right. I'm the one who killed him. Did the penguin laugh? God damn it, Gion. Gion shop. Double penguin laugh. Yeah, that's right. I'm the one who killed him. But you're the police, so it's your own job to figure out who he is, right? Come on, prove to me that he's really Satoko's uncle.
What on earth?
We think it's an old drain pipe. It seems to be connected to the irrigation channel over there.
Let's smash that thing. It's not being used, is it?
The men all exchanged glances, then hesitantly broached another topic. Oishi-san, the ground down there is pretty hard. I don't think anything could be deeper than this.
Did we get the location wrong?
No, at first it definitely felt like the place had been dug up before. But after digging so far, the ground suddenly hardened. You could have gone down further than the hole was originally dug.
So, what does that mean? There was a hole here, and someone filled it back up? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
What? What were they talking about?
Well, I'm at a loss. Aren't you? My Bara-san.
Oishi grabbed my collar and dragged me to the huge hole they dug. The mug inside was like an ocean, and I couldn't see any drain pipe down there. One of the men stirred it with a shovel, letting me hear it clang against something hard. There was no doubt I'd buried him right there, but I hadn't buried him this deep. I didn't dig deep enough to unearth an entire drain pipe. Maybe he sunk into the pipe?
So,
Well, then, this man's corpse, where was it? Proof that had been successful in that night, was gone. 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 Then, what on earth was I? Was I actually crazy after all? And just possessed by the delusion that I killed someone? That couldn't be. It was the unmistakable truth. It couldn't have been a hallucination. But now, the most important evidence that it hadn't been an illusion was gone. I killed him. I buried him. I had absolute unwavering confidence in that fact. Then, did I fail to kill him? After I left here, had he started breathing again, crawled out, and gone back to Satoko's house? Was that it? I'd come here to see whether he had a tattoo or not. And yet, the truth I unearthed was far more than that. Yesterday, what was I? I killed him. I buried him. There was no doubt. But for some reason, he lived and crawled back out. And that was impossible, too. I'm so tired of hearing the word impossible over and over. I get it. Dead people don't like to play the rules here in Higurashi. Then I'll kill you as many times as I need to. I'll keep killing you until you never show your face at Satoko again. Oishi and the others were muttering to each other. Eventually, their conversation ended, and Oishi came towards me.
1 second.
What's up?
I'm getting my cat away from me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I just opened up the window from the sea fuel.
What did he want to say? What did he want to do? I stiffened, tensing up, and Oishi just ignored me like I wasn't even there. He passed right by me. The other men too. They ignored me and shuffled away. Eventually, there was no longer a sign that anyone was around. I returned to my quiet world of silhouettes. The only one left there was me. Only the sound of the pouring rain filled up the silence. What the fuck? They just left him there?
Cat time! Cat time!
El gato. Inquiry request. Record of malice. Do these tips? Maybe this is why they got sent there. Akinomiya Police Station Command Center transmission recording. June 20th, 8:08 p.m. This is Akinomiya Police Station. We read you loud and clear. You want to
Hello.
do it?
Hello. We'd like to look up a license plate for Shishibone H4344.
Ishibone H4344. Alright. Please give us just a moment to look it up.
Thank you.
Number match. Ishibone H4344. Owner, redacted. Address, redacted. Inamizawa Village, Ishibone. Vehicle make and model, redacted. Theft reports, none. Vessel mentions, nothing of note. Okinomiya Security Police to Oishi. We found a license plate from earlier. Oishi, do you read? Oishi, please respond.
Hmm?
Am I getting a bad signal? Anyone in Oishi's car, please Nothing, eh? Oishi-san wanted a license plate check? Whose car was it? Someone from the village. A completely average car. Who was it? If Oishi-san was asking, then it could be anyone good, right? Can't be anyone good, right? Oh, I gotta hydrate. Thank you, Dodo, for the hydrate.
Yeah.
Ah. Special mentions column is completely blank. No indication it's related to the S group either. And no demerits on it. Maybe it passed him on the road and he got mad. That guy isn't the type that'll forget a grudge. Wait. The fuck? He just asked them to check a license plate and they found nothing?
Mm-hmm.
They found... Okay, so they found the car, but there's like nothing special about it. Huh. Okay, what's this?
He said it smelled.
Oh, go right ahead.
He said the food smelled. He said it smelled because I smelled. He said I smelled because I don't take baths. He said to take a bath 3 times a day because I was a smelly person. He said I had to stay in the bath for a long time every time.
This is Satoko, isn't it?
He must be possessed by something too. This is the strange thing the man who died said. Why does he know what the man said before?
You said I smelled because I don't take baths. High school all over again. Oh god. Oh god.
Not much is obvious.
Holy shit, how long is chapter 3? All these chapters are fucking long, at least. These chapters are really fucking long.
The same thing that possessed the man is now possessing him. Can't a sudden earthquake make a big hole in front of the house? If it did, he would definitely go and look into it. And then I just have to push him in. I won't give in until I get that chance. I won't give in. I won't cry. I won't give in. I won't cry. Ah, someone is apologizing again.
What the fuck was that about?
Hmm.
I thought that was Satoko, but what the fuck's she talking about?
I think it might just be her mind, you know?
Possibly. Think it's a good stopping point index?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
been 3 hours, so
Yeah, let me just exit out. Alright, thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. That was
it was nice.
quite an episode. My oh my, everybody's going crazy now, basically.
My.
Oh my. Oh. Hey.
Hello,
Thank
Venus the flytrap. Oh, every time.
Oh,
Every
Venus.
time.
Venus, no.
Venus, no!
Nini Indian Pingu. Oh shit. Venus, we must change the time zones so that we have the same time zone somehow. Now I get to choose
Mm-mm-mm.
somebody to raid.
Who's on for rating? No,
Let's let's say I do
other champ.
Fumble Bottle. He's a nice guy. He's another penguin
Mhm.
like me.
Ah, another penguin.
Yeah, he's actually a penguin VTuber, like an actual penguin. Let me just make sure.
Like a real penguin? Yes.
Yeah, he's an actual penguin. He's got a cool model and everything.
Ah, yeah.
He's Australian as well, I believe.
Australia,
Oh,
Australia, Australia. We love you. Amen.
I think he's making video editing. Looks like that's what he's doing right now.
Oh, sweet.
Let's go say hi to Fumble Bottle, don't we?
Do you want me to give me your fishes?
Yeah.
Leaning. Why am I leaning?
Fucking Streamlabs isn't working right now, so I gotta type it into actual
Yeah, I
Twitch.
got it.
You doing
I
it?
got it. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Let me use. Do you want knife emote or heart emote?
Hard email. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Thank you for coming out, Shion Shop.
Congratulations, Bunny.
Thank you for coming out,
Okay,
Elise. I
fine.
appreciate it. Thank you, Venus.
Okay.
Sorry.
Um,
I'm gonna be coming in at
next Monday.
this kind of time because I take half an hour out of my mornings for running now.
There's the raid
Yeah, so
message.
I'm in Queensland.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna go in and insert mine
So
one in.
I don't know why. I think it's something stupid. But anyway.
Let me go grab my knife. Where's my knife?
Knifey.
Where's my knife? Where's my knife?
Yeah, we're about to raid Fumble Bottle. He's another penguin VTuber.
Bottle. Bum, 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 bum,
I
bum.
believe he is Australian and he is really cool.
Noise. Get away. Give us your fish. Give us your fish.
It was the fish.
Fish. Give us all fish.
Alright, everybody, we're gonna say hi to Fumble. He's another penguin VTuber. He's a cool dude. Think y'all like him? Doing some video editing now, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
But yeah,
Whew.
thank y'all for coming out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for some Soma. But yeah, thank y'all. Love y'all. See ya.
Bye.